All right, Jabari, start telling some stories here, my friend.
All right, all right. Where do we
We're
begin? Where do we begin?
we're gonna go all the way back, dude. This is always a fun one. Where were you born?
St. Louis, Missouri. I don't even remember the hospital. I've been told, but I don't know. I mean, St. Louis City Museum. I mean, not museum, St. Louis, Missouri. Uh,
Nice.
on the
You got.
race.
Were you when we both met you? You were living in Kirkwood. Was that where you were born and raised, more or less, or did you guys move around, or what?
Moved around.
Yeah.
I know we were like we lived in DeSoto and like Flat River and stuff like that. 'Cause my mom was a teacher
No way.
and she
Okay.
was going with like the teaching jobs and stuff, but I don't really remember all that. Uh, I think if I go like the furthest back would be North St. Louis, Walnut Park. That would be around the time when I got my first skateboard, and we were going from there out to Splash Skate Park in Webster.
Oh,
So
wow.
I was still living like in North St. Louis at the time.
And what
So,
you were skating like
Yeah,
super
I have
young.
memories of seeing you there, you and Bobby.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I just started off young, like not even really knowing about it. Just I really think it was from TV, just from like I always say Police Academy, that one
Nah.
they had, they had that big skate scene in there and it was like funny, but it was also really dope too.
Yeah.
If you're a kid watching that, like that
Yeah.
Gleaming the Cube
Yeah.
and I think Skate TV, like on MTV and stuff like that. Or
Oh
Nickelodeon,
God, yeah.
Yeah.
whatever it was.
Nickelodeon. Yep.
Yeah, but
Yeah. Oh,
I'm pretty sure those were like the only context of skateboarding I really had
Yeah.
was from like that stuff. Like no one in North St. Louis skated or anything like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was my birthday. I was asked like, what do you want for your birthday? You got one thing in the store, anything, and I for some reason I chose that skateboard. No, it just
Which
kind of just
birthday?
bruh. It might
Talking
have been like
eight.
seventh or eighth.
damn, that's
Because I've been
young.
trying to
Yeah,
find this
I
picture.
remember you and Bobby were so little. I mean, I don't know what age, but you guys were so small when I first saw you at Splash.
Well, like Splash is
Yeah.
what, 89 to 91 or something like that?
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, maybe 88 if you were sneaking in there. I think it was around an 88 maybe too. I can't
So
remember now.
88, I would have been seven. And 91, I would have been 10. So it was somewhere in between,
Yeah,
in
Wow.
there.
yeah,
So I'm thinking like my seventh, and I was probably there by the time yeah.
Dude, I gotta
yeah,
ask, man, how did you guys hear about Splash Skate Park?
yeah.
I was a voluntary transfer student,
What's that
which
mean?
is that's VTS. That was at the time of
The
D
DSEG.
the DSEG program to desegregate the schools and everything.
Okay.
So I lived in North St. Louis, but then I rode the bus. I had to wake up stupid ass early and then just like ride the school bus out to Webster Groves, and I went to school out there.
Oh, so you're going to school where the
Wow.
Splash
Yeah.
Skate Park is.
Well, I went to Little Bristol, then Hickson Middle. Or no, I went to Steger, and then I went to Hickson Middle School. And Hickson Middle School is right next to that rink where the skate park is at.
Oh, no
So I'm
way.
thinking,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So I either knew about it from that, or it might have been from my first pro board I got was from Splash Skate Shop, and I went to the Rock Hill one, and it was Cairo's mother who was running that one, and she was older lady, so she automatically seemed like a little young child. She just kind of drew really
Yeah.
liked me, and I have my mom. Everybody fuck with my mom, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they just chopping it up and all that, and she's like, oh, I love this. And so maybe either we saw it or she told us about it once she went there to get my first pro board.
Yeah. Dude, do you happen to remember any of the people at Splash? I gotta think it's just a blur when you're 9 years old. But
Funny, like the only people I remember, like Pittman and JT Stone. I mean, not to be
Jeez.
like that, but like the
Yeah,
other,
but
like
that's
two black people that are like, whoa, what
yeah.
the fuck? And I remember
And
my
the
mom
best,
tripping off of
like
yeah,
one of them.
they
Yeah.
were probably top five, if not two, people skating at Splash. Like,
absolutely.
yeah.
Well, my mom tripped off of him, and that would make me trip off of him too, because she was like, one of them, she's like, that boy falls smooth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
he falls in
Yeah.
control and with style. And I was like,
Mhm.
huh? Like that made me trip off of him more. But I think the only person, I mean, Jason Wussler, and we weren't like buddy buddy. We were just like little ass kids. So I
But he was
remember
another
him
little
skating.
kid. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but we
Yep.
weren't really like skating around together at that park. We just were the little kids. I think
Mhm.
I knew him from that, and then AJ Miller,
Oh
and I
wow.
remember
Yeah.
AJ
Yeah.
Miller because Splash was my first skate contest. I skated in a skate contest and I
No
got fifth
way.
place. And I remember AJ
Sick.
beating me, but AJ was like really, really ripping it,
Yeah.
like doing like huge 1-footers above the coping on the quarter pipe and double kickflips
Oh,
and
wow.
stuff. Like he was super dope with it. And
Yeah.
I always remember that because he beat me in my first contest. But yeah,
Yeah.
but I always loved AJ's style. Dude. AJ was like I didn't.
Ripper.
AJ's a weird one. Keep this. So all right, so Splash Skate Park. I know him from then. Then I don't see him again until like Captain and Keener days, and he looks like Mike Carroll from Unbelievable, like
Yeah.
questionable because he had like the little free
Right.
hanging braids and
Yeah,
baggy
yeah.
and he
Yeah.
had the ill street style and he could just skate good. And then I didn't see him again for dumb long. And then I quit. This is when I quit skating, graduate high school, and I go to Flow Valley for college. I just happened to be walking one day, look down, this fool is just sitting on a tree reading the book. I'm like, what's up, AJ? Right?
Yeah.
Right. And he's not even skated at the time either. So I'm like, what's
Yeah.
up, fool? Then don't see him again for years, for years, for years. I started working out at AT&T all the way out of town and country. Some dude's like, yo, I'm gonna go over to the homie's house next door, watch the soccer game. We're gonna smoke weed and drink. You want to come through? I'm like, yeah, we go over there. It's AJ's house. So it's like, what the hell? Then I don't see him again
Yeah.
for hella long. Then I moved back
Yeah.
here from California, and he started back skating, and then we're back skating again.
No
So
That's
way.
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was one that like some person that I always ran
Yeah.
into. I might even be leaving the time out, but shout out to AJ.
Yeah, dude. That dude was
Yeah,
rad.
Yeah.
I remember
yeah,
seeing him around quite a bit, and I kind of have a similar experience. Like he just kind of pops in every few years and like
yeah,
Mm.
randomly
yeah.
run into him in spots.
Real
Hey, I
South
gotta ask
Carolina.
about bring it to back to Splash. Sorry, because I remember you guys well, and especially who out of you two had the board with the holes on the side or whatever? Didn't
That
somebody have
was
the? Was that
that was
Bobby or?
Bobby. Yeah, that was either
Yeah.
Bobby or the homie Chris Carver. I didn't have that.
Okay. Yeah.
I still had a
Yeah.
booty ass board back then, but I didn't have the
Yeah.
holes in
Yeah.
it.
Well, shit, I was only a year after that, cakes, like had my Veriflex or whatever the year before.
Yeah.
So I knew where the kids were, you guys were at. Like, I remember there's the whole one because I was like, I don't think I ever saw one in person. I was like, whoa, shit, like the holes.
What was it for like grabbing and stuff?
Early
Was that the whole
grabs.
deal?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
No
guess,
way.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Which is pretty sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Have they reran that one?
Yeah.
I have
I'm
no
surprised like
idea.
Polar or something hasn't brought that.
Right, right.
That'd
Pretty
be hard
pretty
though. And I'm not just
close.
about Polar. I
Might
love Polar.
break.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah.
We got some
Yes,
stuff.
sir.
We got stuff in the catalog with pretty close to that right now. There's little bumps and holes
Uh,
and shit all over the place.
uh,
Grooves and
yeah.
divots.
Yep, yep, yep. So you're go to Splash, still living in North City, right?
Yeah.
How did you connect with Bobby then? Was he living in North City too? You guys were kind of thick as thieves
Because
way back.
my grandmother lived in Kirkwood.
Ah, grandma
So
lived
that's
in
what it
Kirkwood.
was. Like we were out in Kirkwood a lot at my grandmother's house. My mom and grandmother are super close. And Bobby lived right around the corner from me.
Yeah.
And I originally met him and Chris Carver. We were riding bikes. I was right, you know what I'm saying? Because we're just so young, we're just
Little
doing
kid
whatever.
stuff,
Not
man.
like,
Yep, yep,
yeah, I didn't know tricks, I didn't know
yep.
videos or anything like that. Like I think we were sitting on our butts most of the time for the skateboard. But I met them riding bikes, and then we became friends, and then we also had skateboards, and then we all got our first pro boards the same Christmas.
Oh,
You know what I'm
nice.
saying? Like
Sick.
I got a Frankie Hill. Of course, Bobby's
Dude.
grandfather would only buy him the Ray Barbie because he's like, buy you a black man skateboard. Shout out to
Rad.
Curly Hines, the
That's so sick.
OG with the
That's
goat.
so
Yeah,
sick.
yeah.
Yeah.
You already know.
So he was paying attention and he knew enough, like, oh, Ray Barbie. Like, yeah. I
Yeah,
didn't realize, like, some parents, don't pay
his
attention to
grand
it.
no, Curly Hines knew. He was like, oh yeah, I'll
Yeah.
buy you a brother's board. I'll
Yeah,
buy you this
yeah.
brother's board right here. I go
Yeah.
whiteboard board. He used to be on some
That's
stuff, man. It was
sick
funny.
though. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Chris
That's
Carver. I
awesome.
don't know, y'all never met him, but he got the Mike
Right,
Gill.
I was gonna ask, like, I
Yeah.
wasn't familiar with his name. Did he quit skating or something? Or
Yeah, he lived like
yeah.
right next door to Bobby, and
Okay.
they were best friends for like way before I met them. But
Yeah.
he was more the out there kid. Like he wasn't no troublemaker, but he was like
Yeah.
probably one of the first people I smoked weed with. Like the young kid that has porn mags at his
Yeah.
crib,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
teaching
Got it.
Chong movies and like
Oh
still had
shit.
nunchucks and like the
Yeah.
knives and all. He just like he was
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
typical like kid that had all the crazy stuff. So yeah, eventually he got out of skating as we kept on going and stuff. But yeah, we all got three. The Powell Peraltas, Powell was popping back then. That's
Heck
all
yeah.
we knew. Because I think we
Yeah.
were renting skate videos from like mom and pop stores. And the mom and pop stores, they had like public domain, ban or no, not even ban this. They had like the first three
Future
videos.
primitive and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we didn't know that was outdated though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We thought that's
Yeah.
what skating was at the time, but we were probably like 5, almost 10 years behind by that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, that's funny. Were you guys getting out and about, or were you guys just in the neighborhood, or what were you guys doing? Obviously,
Yeah, Kirkwood.
so are you living in Kirkwood at this point, or just going to visit grandma quite a bit?
I'm out there a lot because our house was getting broken into all the time. And
Oh,
like
really?
it was, yeah, I mean, where we were staying, it was crazy. It was like
Yeah. In Walnut Park.
yeah, it was crazy because see, my mom bought that house, and when she bought it, it was still cool.
Yeah.
And by the time I was born, but because she didn't have me until her like 30, I think 32 or maybe 30 or something like that.
Yep.
So it was a little bit later in life, and like by the time I came around, like the neighborhood wasn't the same anymore, and it was
Yeah.
kind of like St. Louis baby, North
Yeah.
Side.
Where is that
Yeah.
neighborhood? Where's Walnut Park at exactly, or roughly?
Think off of 70. Think you would get off 70 on. You could either get off at
Kings Highway, right? Or
be
no?
I'm a little bit deeper than that. So you can get off
Yeah.
at Kings Highway, that goes to Walnut Park.
Okay.
You can what's the next one after that? That's Union or
Can't
there's like
remember.
three exits that cover
Okay.
Walnut Park. Just dip up in there.
Yeah.
I know the
Do you
zone
know where
you're
that
talking about.
velodrome is, Todd?
Yes.
It's like kind of over there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's more so on the other side of 70. Like that's the area, but the
Mhm.
velodrome is on the
Yeah.
Opposite side.
yeah,
Or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah. You
yeah.
go into the neighborhoods on the other side of
Mhm.
70, and then
Closer to the river, on the riverside. Yeah.
yeah, it's on the riverside, but it's not close to the river. It's close to
Got
the
it.
highway. It's on
Okay.
the other side of the
Yeah,
highway,
yeah.
to
So,
the
dude,
This,
velodrome.
big,
And
big
I've tripped out
difference.
the velodrome my whole life. So I think it's ill that they redid that shit.
Yeah.
yeah, right?
Yeah, I grew up there as a kid, and I always looked at it because I had never seen anything like that. I was
Yeah.
like, wow, what is that? And they finally redid that shit. I love that.
Yeah.
Are those metal benches still over there? Are
Yep.
those kind of like at that
Yep.
park, kind of right there? Yeah.
Really good spot.
Huh.
That's
Yeah,
a spot that fools could come here from other states and try to do a trick because it's a unique spot and
for
get
sure.
combos,
Yeah.
combinations and shit on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So
That's
when did
crazy
you
they're still there.
when did you guys wind up relocating to Kirkwood then? When is that?
I don't even remember, man. It was just it got to the point every time we came home, the house had been broken
Yeah,
into.
that's wild, man. Yeah.
Because it
Yeah.
was just like they were taking advantage of it because like they saw it was just me and my mom. And then by the time she adopted my brother, I think that's what it was. So it had to be around shit, probably
Mid-80s.
I guess it had to be around when I was 8 or well, he came in the picture when I was 7. So it couldn't have been too long after that because it was just, when it was me and her, we like thug it out. And I was too young. I wasn't even tripping off of it then. Cause
Yeah.
like, but once he got in the picture, she's like, man, we can't be going up in this. Like, we don't know if these motherfuckers are still here,
Yeah.
in here.
Yeah.
But she had a huge ass. It was, it's a north side old school house. It was humongous.
Oh, wow.
I dream about that house to this day. I think, man, if I had that house, it's insane.
Yeah.
Right.
It looked like a Frisco house. You feel me? Like a
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it was a dope house. But
That's crazy.
yeah, we moved up out of there. I think because of that, because of Matthew. Like we just couldn't, you know, be in that danger, and it was just getting too dangerous. Moved out there, but by then I had already knew Bobby and Chris, and then yeah, just started staying out there, and then just kicking it more, and then yeah, eventually got into getting into skating.
Yeah. When did
Another
the
like years.
When did the skating start to turn on more beyond just freaking riding bikes and riding skateboards? When did it start becoming more than that?
Hmm.
Dude, you came
Bro,
around
skate,
like super young, dude. So like,
bro, skating,
Right.
skating had it went. I used to tell people I was sitting on my ass a lot, and then someday I stood up, but like, no, not really, man. It kind of turned on from like day one, and I forgot since I was so. Oh, I had so many fucking crews. That's what so you like you're mentioning like Bobby and them. So I got
Mhm.
them. That's my Kirkwood crew, right? But I grew up, I was going to Webster from kindergarten
sure.
to seventh grade. So I got my Webster crew of skaters. Like, Mike Warfel?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Me
You
and
like went to,
Warfel known each other since elementary school.
oh, no
Oh,
kidding.
that's so
Bro, I
wild.
got
Yeah.
I
Wow.
got squad. I got squad all over everywhere.
Yeah.
And then like from saying like it's stupid when I really think about it.
Yeah.
But it's like,
That's cool.
I had so many different crews. Like look at Jason Everick from Infinity. I
Right.
had
Yeah.
I had my Festus in Hillsboro and all that crew. I had my crews everywhere, bro. I had my
Sure.
North County
Yeah.
crew. I had my
Yeah.
Kirkwood crew. So yeah, I think Webster crew would have been really first because I remember going to school with my Veriflex, and then
Yeah.
like my mom couldn't pick me up right after school, so I would stay after school. But there was kids that were skating, so I remember I was skating with them, and that was like Warful, this dude, Tim Belrose, Andrew Purcelli, and like I had a Webster squad. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
And Tim had an older brother that skated. So that I forgot about that. So that I was able to see like real skating from his older brother. Like they were every once in a while they would let us hang and they took us to there were some bank spots in Rock Hill, like in the industrial area. And there's
Right.
like
Yeah.
huge banks you can launch out of, like when fools were doing melancholy
Yeah. Yeah.
grabs,
Mm.
and like they were doing all that. And like, I mean, I couldn't do it, but I was just like, bro, I had a lot of training and I seen a lot. And it just kind of life just brought it to me for real.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. So when I met you and probably Matt as well, like Knifer was going on. Where does that come into the picture? As far as
Knifer's
skateboarding, not going to school.
Knifer was once I was living with my grandmother
Yeah.
because she only lived a couple of blocks from there. Knifer is where I originally met Bobby and Chris because they're just riding bikes up there,
Oh wow.
and I was riding bikes and they're just riding it down the hills in the front. We became friends, and then I don't know, like I said, somehow we end up venturing out to skateboarding. But I'm trying to think. I mean, I was skating Knifer before I lived out there, but yeah, once I moved in with my grandmother, and it was
That was
like
like,
2 blocks from our house or
yeah,
something like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Training ground.
that was like not even thinking like that. Like, oh, we're gonna train or just that was
Right.
just what we had. So we
Yeah.
skated that. We didn't know that like people didn't skate railroad ties and stuff. We just waxed it up. Like we saw, like I didn't even think about that we were skating wood and everyone else skates lead,
Yeah.
concrete and stuff. But we made it work. We learned how to grind on that shit, slide that shit. Like,
Yeah, man.
yeah,
I remember that
Yeah.
spot. It worked. It worked good. Came out to skate a few times, like specifically to
Yeah.
go there, you know?
yeah.
That
And there
wood
used
would
to
be
be stuff
so
on the
dense that
basketball
like
court
it would
side.
be like a great ledge, you know?
Mhm.
I
Definitely.
remember we had one as a or that was like a common, it's like still a common building material, kind of, maybe more back then. But
Yeah.
we, Jeff and I at our grade school took it down off one of the walls, but we put it back because we thought we'd get in trouble. Start to learn board slides, and all that stuff on
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
Damn, should I do that down at the slab? Just fucking build a
A
Dude.
double
railroad
sided,
tie.
just two railroad ties on top of each other, just like
That'd
just
be
over the
sick. Call
knifer, and
the
just on the
knifer
skate.
ledge.
Yeah, if I get one that's hard and compressed like those, like because
Yeah,
out in,
they were really good.
they were out in nature all that time, and they never really split. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
held up
For a few years, that good like 7, 8, right? If I recall. Um,
forever.
Yeah.
yeah.
So when did you guys start venturing out to other spots? Sounds like you got a couple different crews. So you kind of got people that have their feelers out there. Things are
I was,
happening. Yeah.
bro, I was out there from day one.
Yeah, you were.
So peep this, like what I'm saying, like so. I'm trying to like put it all together, but like because I'm thinking of Webster crew now. So that's when I'm in. Big Bristol, that's elementary from first to fifth grade. So I'm trying to remember. I had my board in elementary. How old are you when you're in fifth grade?
Matt, you know that, man.
Like,
How,
nah, I don't know, like 10 or 11, right? 11
Okay, so
probably.
shit. So maybe I got my board in fourth or third grade or something. I don't
yeah,
know.
Yeah,
But I'm like a VTS student. I said I was bringing my board to school, but I used to like, I was embarrassed though, because fools were already on me then. Like,
oh yeah,
you got a skateboard for? But whatever, I like bring that. And then, like I say, stay at the school, hang with my crew. We were skating over Webster as little kids, like going to Old
yeah,
Orchard, like all like we were mobbing. It
yeah.
was just like, but it was also a different, like not to sound like an old head, but it was a different time then.
Sure,
yeah,
sure,
You know,
sure.
it's great
yeah,
like how our parents be like, we used to have our front doors used to always be unlocked, and anyone could just walk in because they just come in, they don't even knock. Like it was a different
yeah,
time then. It was a
yeah,
different time for us. Like we could be little kids and mobbing around, and it was pretty safe. We were also in Webster Groves,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
we're
yeah,
pretty much everywhere we're skating is on like a main strip or like a visible and
yeah,
stuff. Like,
Sure.
bro, I've been outside and been all over the place for like from day one because you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
and I wasn't even doing bad stuff. It was just skating. But my
yeah.
mom working and going to school, and
yeah.
that's what it was.
You
Nice.
know, how about all three of us? Everybody has that story. You're starting on a bike, right? First, when you're meeting friends, getting outside. Were you guys covering ground then too? I'm just thinking back to like you're saying you're covering a lot of ground.
I
With
wasn't.
that bike, when you get hop on that bike, you cover a lot of ground and it gets you ready to like maybe get out there on the skateboard. I don't know.
That's
What do you say?
crazy. I wasn't though. Now I think about it, it was
Oh,
that
really?
board what we covered. Yeah, I think the
Really?
furthest I was dipping was Knifer probably then.
Oh
Yeah.
And
gosh. Yeah, dude.
yeah, yep. I think bef other than a bike, I know when we first moved or when we were in North St. Louis, I know I probably dipped out like 5 blocks when I was like a little 5-year old. Like my mom walked
Oh,
outside.
yeah.
I was on a three-wheeler,
Uh,
and like she found me, and I was like 5 blocks away. And she's
yeah.
like, "What the hell?"
Well, I
But
had the
other than that,
older
though,
brother. Yeah. I had the older brother and like older friends around too of his crew that, yeah, were leading me down some
Yeah,
stuff.
dude. I did that with the bike. Like, oh, I'm going to the neighbor's house, and then I'm 10 miles away easily or something on the
Yeah. I
bike
was
for
doing
the
that
day.
really young, man.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. When did you guys start venturing like downtown? Like when did like Keener Plaza? I got to think that comes in at some point.
my first time down in Keener, my mom took me for my birthday.
Oh,
Like that's how my
really?
mom was. Yeah,
Sick.
yeah, yeah.
Happy
Oh,
So
sick.
birthday. We're going to the skate spot. Yeah.
yeah, so one birthday, that's how I got my first skateboard. When she told me like, "Oh, we're gonna go into this store. You can have anything you want, but it can only be one thing." I got the skateboard. A couple years later, or maybe a year later, I'm pretty sure I had my pro board by this birthday. And I don't know how we knew about Keener yet. That's the thing, though. I have no idea. Me and Bobby, and we didn't know of Keener. And
Yeah.
I don't know how the hell my mom knew of Keener, but somehow we went to Keener. And I don't remember if I told her. Oh, I'm pretty sure I did, but maybe someone told me from Splash.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we be at
Yeah.
Keener, but I don't know. But she took us down there. She stayed down there the whole time. I mean, we skated all day. First time I got hustled, they had, the peanut all that. And I was like asking my mom for money. I'm like, give me my birthday money. I got this. And she's like, baby, you're gonna lose. It's said, and like, no, 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 I got this. And she's like, all right, don't tell, don't say I didn't tell you. And gave me the money, went over there, lost my little shit, and
Yeah.
I couldn't go
I
back
think
and
we
say nothing.
all learned that lesson as well.
Yeah, but
Oh,
I
man.
learned it young. I'm glad she let me go ahead and experience that. I got it out the way and I was good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think that was my first time, like super, super young. And then like I was going down, like my mom was dedicated, bro. So like not even thinking about like, oh, my son's gonna be pro because she didn't understand skating like that. But she just always happy. And so like it'd be weekends, like she would take us down there, like, yo, I'll come down and she'd have her books and read it in the van or whatever. And we just skate for hours. And that's how we were the young kids at these spots. It was like that at Keener, it was like that at Captain before I was getting picked up, she was taking us down there. Or Bobby's or Curly Hines, Bobby's grandfather. He was dropping us off a lot of spots and they would take turns. Um, I really started hitting downtown hard was with Brad and them. But once again, that was because of my mom. They were skating. Brad, I think it was you too, Mitz. I think it was you. Yeah, it was you, Jason, and Mitz. You, Brad, and Jason were skating the AT&T building. You know where you did the back tail over like the standing water pipe, Mitch, and
Yeah, yeah. Those
y'all were
gray
skating
ledges or
that.
whatever.
Mm-hmm. Y'all were skating that, and my mom was working a homeless shelter right across the street for I think it was like Thanksgiving or something, and she saw you guys, and I think she spoke to you like, oh yeah, my son skates, and then and they were like, yeah, what's his name? And she said Jabari, and like, oh, we know who he is because it wasn't splash days anymore. I think maybe y'all see me, maybe captain and stuff
Yeah.
like
Or
that,
knifer.
and they're like, tell
Knifer,
him,
maybe.
yeah, and he's like, yeah, tell him to come down. She drove all the way back from downtown to Kirkwood, got me, dropped me off, and then went back to work in the shelter. And like, there they go. And then I skated with y'all guys. And then
Nice.
That's
that
wild.
was, I think y'all gave me a VHS of like whatever footage y'all had put together. And like, yo, I just studied that and it was just like, it was the greatest shit ever. And like, showed Bobby and them and just like, dog, this is what
Yeah.
it is. And then, yeah, after that, I think that's when it slowly started going from like Brad would come pick me up here and there.
Yeah. Is Captain happening after that? Or wait, were you
Captain,
around Captain much? You weren't, were you?
I was. I
You
was
were,
at
you were. You were.
Captain.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't know what year Captain ended.
It's like
95,
94, maybe.
right
That
into
early?
early 95. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
remember
Oh, you're
literally
right. Yeah.
no, I remember literally
Yeah.
going there like the first day of college skating,
Right.
like after
Yeah.
school. That was 94. And then
Oh
it
yeah,
did.
because Canali was in college. I remember him coming
Yep,
after school. Yeah, yeah, all that.
yep.
Mhm.
Missed that fool, dude. He was ill.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was
So
definitely good.
good, man.
Shout out to Canali.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of places like you got Captain, you got Oak Hill, like other spots that are kind of going at the
Oak
same
Hill, yeah.
time.
I was going to
Yeah.
Oak Hill a lot because the
Yep.
demos, all the demos were held there.
Right. That's right.
Really, that's the only way I actually got hip to Oak Hill was the demos. I wasn't going there before that.
What
I
demos
didn't.
were there? There was the Foundation
Ooh.
demo. That comes to mind. Invisible.
So the ones that hit me the hardest would have been Phil the Think with Phil Shaw
Oh,
and
Thinking
Yeah.
Adrenaline. Yeah.
dude, it was Phil Shaw and Justin Strubing, and it messed me up because once I moved out to SF and seen Justin, I was like, "Hey man, you remember going to St. Louis back in the day with Phil?" And he's like, "Yeah, totally." And I was like, "Do you remember a little black kid like almost doing switch like looking like his eyes was all big, just look like." Was it you? Was it? He's
No
like,
way.
yeah, and just like, yeah, me and Struben was good after that. Like,
Dude, I
love
have
that
a very clear memory of him skating that chunky ledge at Oak Hill, just blasting
Flying.
through a Smith grind, dude.
and
Flying.
that's
Yeah,
why he said he
flying.
remembered me because I never landed it, but at that time I was switch 5-0ing that
Oh, no
ledge.
way.
I never
That's
landed it, and
sick.
he was just like, remember, like, yeah, I just remember some little short fat kid, like, and I'm all like, I couldn't believe you could even get up on a switch 5-0 that
Yeah.
tall, like, and all that, and it
He
wasn't
was
super
so
tall. I
chunky
was a
too.
little kid, but yeah, yeah, just stuff like that. That ledge was chunky as
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
wish
like
that
all we
spot was
had.
still
Yeah.
there.
Sorry.
It wasn't bad. Banks got a nice ledge.
I mean, ledge wise. I mean, and there are ledges, but
Yeah.
anyways.
So wait, we
Yeah,
had
chunky
there.
do slide tricks.
Yeah, there was
Right.
Think Adrenaline. What else came through there? Like I can remember things off
Oh,
the top of my head.
the World
Invisible
Industry demo was the one
World
that
Industry.
messed me up.
Yeah.
So dude, Ronnie Mullen was there, LeVar, Kareem, the whole
Oh
menace.
God.
Um, Dude, Ronnie
Were
Mullen was
you at
doing
the
dark
shop?
side.
Were you at the shop at Altered when they pulled up? Were you
I
there
believe
for that,
so. Yeah,
Jabari?
yeah, yeah.
I have a memory of a bunch of us there when they pulled up and they stopped at the shop first
Yep.
and then cruised over to Altered and just good memory of that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no, definitely, definitely. Yeah, we all have to wait to the shop. We were like, well, we don't know. They're gonna get here eventually. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
yeah, that demo was crazy. That
Yeah.
because World Industry was such a such a big company
So
at
big
the
at the
time to see
time.
all those
It
guys in
wasn't
person.
World though. It was World, Blind,
Yeah,
City
yeah,
or
all the world
Menace.
Yeah.
companies. Yeah, yeah.
Joey Sorrell was
Yeah.
there.
Joe. Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
That
Yeah.
was right when LeVar got turned pro because he was riding his LeVar the cursive LeVar McBride.
Oh
Y'all
wow.
Yeah.
his first board. It was like I forgot what the background is. It might have been just like abstract, like art or something, or like splash or something. But then it was LeVar McBride
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
in the cursive. Yeah, he was still riding that like when he first turned pro. And I know because I
Did
was like he was
Did
close to
he
my.
remember meeting you when you, I mean, when you go out to
So
SF or whatever?
LeVar's met so many people and stuff, but
Yeah, yeah.
he's like, dude, he's like, when I moved out there, I was like, yo, you remember coming to St. Louis? He's like, yeah, I've been out there a couple of times. I was like, yeah, we met, like, and he was just like, I don't think like, yeah, Jabari, but he's like, it wasn't that many other black kids he met. I think he's like, dude, I
Right.
do. He's like, I do remember meeting
Yeah.
like another kid like he said another kid like me. So I
Right.
was
That's
like,
sick.
yeah. And I took that and I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, nigga,
Yeah.
another kid like you. No. LeVar is the illest though. Shout out to LeVar. Shout out
Yeah,
to
man.
Mark.
I would
Like, bro,
think you have to, as a at that age, like, I mean, all of us fucking thought LeVar was amazing, but you like,
but
He
man,
was. Yeah.
he is.
dude, such an inspiration for a young like black kid, or yeah. So, but like,
You
Dude,
should
I
peep Third
dude,
Army Instagram page. They just posted this one clip of him, like, and this is like once people thought he disappeared and all that. Does the best switch back heel, switch front nose slide on the big ledge at Third and Army. Like you don't even think
man,
like
yeah,
Tiago probably just did that recently. Like you don't even remind
yeah.
us, but you know what I'm saying? Like LeVar did that.
Yeah. But just thinking
Stupid.
of that freaking demo at Oak Hill, like I remember LeVar was just firing off tricks. Like I remember
dude,
it was not like he made a couple of tricks. He was just going through all of them, you know? It was
He didn't
insane.
know how
Jabari.
to fall. He didn't know how to fall. Like
Yeah.
he like, you had to teach him how to fall. He didn't know
Not
how
to
to.
turn this into a LeVar interview.
Go ahead. I'm
You
all
went to
down.
that I know you were at when he came to Davenport.
Yep.
Do you remember that?
Yep.
The Davenport demo, I
Hmm.
think.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
What's it
Him,
called up there? I
Marcus,
can't remember.
Clyde, all of them fools.
Dude, that was unreal. Talk about a demo. Like the kid never fell, man. And
You
it
know
was
what's funny
wild
though?
seeing that live too at the pier. Like it was a full on when you'd see him skate live, it was a full on demo, like when he would just skate. It was so wild. Yeah,
Nah.
I'll stop.
No. I mean, that's how LeVar is. And you know what's
Yeah.
funny though? At that Davenport demo, I remember Marcus, like of course we didn't know each other yet. I bummed him out so bad because he was like, because Brad was living out there and filming all those guys, and he was sending me all the
Oh,
footage
that's
back
right.
then. And I didn't
Okay.
know I had hella footage of Trilogy.
That hadn't come out.
Oh
And
wow.
I told him, I was like, yo, so just imagine me being some kid out of nowhere in the middle of the Midwest that
In
he doesn't
Iowa.
know.
I
And
got
I
your
was like,
footage.
I didn't even say that. I was like, yo, I seen that. I seen your heel flip 50-50. That was so at Hubba. And he looks at because that's his ender. And he looks at me like,
That's
what
fuck,
the
yeah.
fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, no, Brad, he just like looked at
Uh-oh,
me so
yeah.
crazy. Like, how does this
No way.
motherfucker have this shit? Because
Oh,
that's
that's
all that.
amazing,
All of the
man.
VAR
Yeah.
tricks on Hubba, like the
Yeah.
Kane switchback tail. Like, I had all
I
that footage before it was put
I
out.
remember,
You guys had
yeah.
it too.
Yeah.
No, it trickled down. I know you got it first, I'm pretty sure, and then it like trickled down to the gang for sure. Because that
Uh,
was heavy stuff for
It
sure.
was. That's all I watched. I didn't even like
Mm,
that and 411s, like whatever the newest
right.
411 was
Yeah.
out, and then I watched whatever SF footage Brad would send back to me. And it
Dude,
was
you're
just all raw footage.
you're actually bringing up some good other things to mention is freaking Davenport, Iowa. Like it sounds pretty random, but that was the closest
But
skate park.
It was the
And
right
best
like
skate park.
in winter, you know.
totally. And the midnight sessions skate from 8 to 8 or something, 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. Do you guys remember that
Forgot
going up for?
about that.
I do, and I don't know how he did
I
that.
don't either, but I very clearly, I think with Jabari going up there, you were there, maybe you, Matt, but like skating till 8 in the morning and then like
Oh,
having to sleep in a parking lot at a school
Yeah.
because
yeah,
everyone was so exhausted. Like
yeah,
eating McDonald's and just taking a nap at noon just to drive home. Like, yeah.
I was too
yeah.
young to drive anyway, so I was good.
Yeah.
Right.
I was just there for the ride.
Yeah.
Those were
Freaking
so fun though. Like I don't, yeah, I don't know how I physically did that, but
Hey,
Rampage
what's
you,
skate
crazy about
park.
Davenport?
Rampage, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rampage. So where's the new skate park at? Is it in Davenport too? Like where they have the
Which one?
SLS contest. They got an
Uh,
outdoor
That's Des
Or is
Moines.
that
Des
Des
Moines. That's
Moines?
Des Moines.
Got like
Yeah.
a mega huge skate park, right?
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I went up there with the missus a couple months ago. It was worth going up for sure. Beautiful.
That's cool.
Bro, I need to pay attention to like when those big contests go. Like, I don't know why I don't never go to that type of stuff. It's so
Because
close.
you don't want to watch, you want to fucking skate. That's why.
Yeah, no, I'll watch. I ain't trying to skate that shit.
No, dude, Des Moines, Iowa skate park has the
Yeah,
best curbs. It's insane.
bro.
Like yeah, the curbs were really good. It's
That's
kind of
cool.
odd, but yeah. Anyway, okay, so you're skating around St. Louis now. The crew has expanded from more crews.
So
Yeah.
at this time it's weird. It's like sectional. So like I'm Brad and them. It's like my weekend crew
Yeah,
because we don't know us live close to each other.
yep,
So I'm only really seeing Brad like Saturday and Sunday, and he'll
yep,
come all the way, which is crazy. He's driving from what St. Peter's
yep.
to
Mhm.
Chesterfield to pick up Wessler, and then from Chesterfield to Kirkwood to pick me up, then drive all over St. Louis city urban, city area, going to different spots, then drop me back off in Kirkwood, then drop Wessler off in Chesterfield, and then back out to St. Peter's.
Yep.
And like we're too young, but like now as an adult, I'm like, damn, this brother never asked me for gas money. Like he just made it happen.
Yeah.
And he was filming us, and he was giving me fucking dope his hand me down shoes and all that stuff. But that was my weekend crew. But then I would have Bobby and them. That's my Monday through Friday. I'm like, we getting it in at Knifer because Brad didn't. He had that small escort, so I couldn't bring all the homies with me, and that was always one thing. I had so many crews, but I was always kind of set because like I want to roll with them. You can't bring everybody with you all the time.
Yeah, yeah. The maroon escort only holds so many people.
Yeah, and he had that 115 in the back, so it really.
Yeah, I remember. Dude, I remember that. Brad's filming at that point then already, right?
Yeah. Because like I said, that first time I met up when we were downtown, I'm pretty sure they gave me a tape. I'm like, here, check this out.
Yeah. I remember that.
Fire. They're like, that was the first local video I had ever seen.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you doing anything with footage? Are you just filming the film, or what are you doing?
I hadn't, I don't think I had, well, I think I probably filmed with like some friends in Edwardsville. I
Edward,
mean,
another
I told you,
crew?
bro, I had squads everywhere. So through my Webster crew, one of my Webster homies had his dad stayed in Edwardsville. He go there on the weekends, and he had two friends out there, and one of them was like stupid good for like really good. Johnny Harris, and
Huh.
they would come to St. Louis sometimes, and then finally I would start going out to Edwardsville just to go skate with those, like stay out for the
Yeah.
weekend, skate with them.
Was there stuff
But
out there to skate in Edwardsville?
I mean, I'm a little kid, so like
Yeah.
we got stuff waxed up. They actually had one school that was really good, like ledges, and then like ledges you can do tricks over and stuff. But like we weren't that good. Johnny was the only one that could like ollie over the ledges and in a
Yeah.
line and stuff. But damn, what was it? Oh yeah, that was just I was all over the place, and that was just from like every crew I had. I ended up meeting another crew out of that crew that lived
Yeah.
somewhere else, and then you just venture out and like, oh, that's some different spots. I want to skate there.
Yeah.
So
Dude, it seems like if correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember seeing lots of clips at Gateway. That seems like
yeah,
that was
that
kind of
would be later on. Yeah. So for
that's
real,
later on.
yeah, I think my first clips would be like with Brad. It was still Captain. We were still at Captain. I filmed with him at Captain and like Bruns, Knifer.
Yeah. Burns has got a bunch of captain footage
Yeah.
of you.
And yeah, Gateway's like closer to the end because that wasn't a spot from the beginning. Like I feel
No,
like
it
we found
wasn't.
that later on in the day. Like
That was
that was a
almost
Leland and Goki spot, right?
yeah, it
Yeah.
was. And that
Yeah.
was like
Leland and Goki had some of the best spots because like there in the fountain was a Leland and Goki
yeah.
spot. They
Yep.
had been
Totally.
skating there
Yeah.
since kids. And
Yeah.
then
And yeah. A bunch of the
yeah.
crew, some of the altered folks knew about it because it was so
Oh,
close to
okay.
altered.
And
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
seemed like Captain's gone away. We got to figure something out almost, like because I don't think there was too much overlap going at the time.
Well,
Yeah.
Captain went away, bro, but we were everywhere though, because we were like
Yeah.
Keen. We were Wash U. We skated Wash U a lot because I had
Right.
the courtyards, the stairs. There was a lot
Mhm.
of things. We skated Wash U a lot, and then I remember us going out to the county and like I'm trying to think of like these benches. We were putting down 3 stairs into a tennis court. That was like
Yeah.
Oh
that was
yeah.
a fire
Right off the
spot. Like
freeway. Yeah.
yeah, we were
Yeah.
going everywhere.
Yeah.
We were going out to town and country because I remember that
Hmm.
was like the skates like a bump and like some school with metal benches and like, bro,
Oh
we
yeah,
were
yeah. Those red metal benches. Sure.
yeah, we were
Yeah,
mobbing. It was just like, yo, where's the spot? Let's go.
yeah.
Nigga, I was
Yeah.
in Clayton. Remember 21 Questions? Joe Flunker.
Oh yeah,
I
rest in
used
peace. Yeah.
I just brought him up the other day. Like he was the first person I felt comfortable to skate. I was comfortable to skate in Clayton. Cause like I don't know if you guys ever had this feeling, but just as a young black kid, I used to have a lot of anxiety skateboarding because I was scared. I was really scared of police, man. Like I didn't want police to come at me because I'm like they might come at me on this, but I like what if they're gonna come at me on something else? Like I used to be really scared, and sometimes you might not like we be skating places that I know we're gonna get kicked out. I wasn't skating. People would know that like I was always watching. I was
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
anxious and scared. So um yeah, dog. I don't know. I'm like, man, I'm high a little bit, so I'm like, I don't know how to
That's
get
all
on.
right.
How do I just get on this? Like, I was really anxious, like with the police and like skating.
Right.
So
Dude,
Where do
well,
you think that came from? The anxiety from like youth at
being
Walnut
black
Park?
in
Yeah,
America,
yeah,
like, but
yeah,
it just goes with that. Like, bro,
for
if you
sure.
notice, I never have any house. You won't see no house footage of me in San Francisco. It's a reason for that. I'm just like,
no, what
and some
footage?
people might be like, you're stupid for thinking like that, but I grew up in a certain time. I grew up in a certain place. I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna skate some $1 million home with some
Oh
white folks.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
That's
like,
wild shit right
Oh,
there. House
was cool
footage.
to get
Yeah,
right.
away
yeah.
with, do that stuff. But I was like, I never did that. I was like, bro, I'm not putting myself in that situation.
Right.
Dude, we all grew up skateboarding in a different era as far as skateboarding goes, much less someone of color having to deal with other stuff. Like, I didn't quite put this one together growing up, but listening to Clyde's podcast, Clyde Singleton's podcast, he talks about like, dude, having to go to someone's backyard to skate a ramp and all the wild shit you would see, like going
Yeah.
to
Oh,
people's houses. Like,
Or said to you, yeah.
well, I can
bro.
remember going to some crazy setups, much less having some bigot like, no one's coming in my backyard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I can,
Right.
yeah, I get that.
See,
Yeah.
I didn't have like I didn't experience that much because I'm not of the backyard ramp.
Well,
I
they
was
didn't
like, I
exist.
missed
I
that
get
era.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
But
But then the
and
crazy
then
thing is this though. All right, so the kid Chris Carver, who I'm speaking of. So Chris was white. Grandparents were so nice to me and Bobby loved us. His mother was kind. She loved us, was nice, but I just remember I don't know where his father was, and his mother was dating some dude from like he's probably from Hillsboro or something, but like he looked like he would have been the most racist, most countryest dude. He had I remember that all he played was sweet cherry pie, like all that stuff, Skid Row and all that stuff like that. Fool had the buzz, peep this, fool had the full buzz cut
Mullet?
mullet. He had the cutoff shorts with the fucking socks and construction boots
Joe
on,
Dirt, full
and
Joe
the
Dirt.
cutoff Joe Dirt. This is this dude, right? And like, and you be thinking that same like racial shit and like, yo, he fucked with us so hard that he built a half pipe in the grandparents' backyard back
No way.
there,
sick.
but it wasn't a good one.
Sure.
I tried, yeah.
Keep this, it was steep as hell. And then he had one side was like a 4 or 5 foot, maybe 6 foot drop in, and then the other side just kept going. It went up to the earth, up to the heavens. And
Still
his thing
going.
was he wanted to learn how to skateboard and pump the highest it could ever pump. And he started learning how to skateboard with us, and he learned how to fucking
Dude,
drop in after eating shit and pumping that
takes
mug.
takes
The
off the
construction
tool
boots
belt, puts
on.
it down, gets on
Yeah,
the board.
turn on some Dr. Feel Good.
Oh
It
my
was
God.
hilarious. But
Oh, dude.
I trip off that stuff.
Yeah.
I trip off with me and Glenn. I'm like, people, if you would have seen us, a lot of people be like, y'all not supposed to like I
Yeah.
don't you know what I'm saying? Like I have such a tight relationship with Glenn and just like it's beautiful for real. Cause like I
Yeah.
didn't even man from what Belleville, like from the kid from North St. Louis, like,
Yep.
yo, that's coach for life. I love that
Yeah.
dude.
Hmm.
Dude,
Like I love that about skating too.
if you think about altered skates back then, dude, it was a freaking island of misfit toys. You know what I mean?
It
Like
was.
people from all different backgrounds and
Yeah.
That's the
throwing.
beautiful thing about
I
skateboarding. It's
know,
always
I
been
know.
like
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. There was yeah, St. Louis especially. There's some characters in there, all different types of folks as well too.
definitely.
Yeah.
Dude, so I was kind of starting to think like you were hanging out with Brad quite a bit, right?
Yeah.
Filming, skating and such. But then Brad moved to San Francisco in 95, I think.
That hurt, bro.
Yeah, it hurt me too, because that was my guy out in St.
Yeah,
Peter's.
you
You know
guys
what?
are real tight.
Yeah.
Oh, both you guys, yeah.
You said
Me too.
94?
I was skating with him a bunch before he moved, and I was
Yeah.
bummed.
Was that 94, 95? Is that right? That sounds about right, right?
Wasn't that summer of '94 when he took a little
Trip.
summer, like
Yep.
almost went the whole summer,
Yes.
and then comes back, and then he's gonna move,
Yeah, but then
So
95,
he
that's
moves
probably,
in '95, I think.
yeah, in the
He
summer.
moves in '95.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
makes
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because that's
what was the summer he left? Was that when he did what was the name of the company? Clout? Was that Clout?
Clout
When
Yeah.
he left
was
that summer?
Or it might have been folding or something around
Okay,
then.
okay.
It might have
Clout
already been done.
Clout was
So there was,
happening during high school. That was 1994.
Yeah.
That was that
dang,
summer.
he was on that in high school?
Yeah, I remember
Hmm.
Jug was what was the
Eric Ellington, like
what was this
that was
Clout slogan, like creating
I don't
technology for today's skateboarding or
remember. I
something?
don't know.
It was
I
something
didn't
kind
know
of fun.
the name is
Yeah.
tight though. Clout
Yeah,
and
for
like it
sure.
Yeah,
was like
it was
actually
good.
cool.
Cloud
Yeah.
Yeah.
skateboards, Jug clothing. Like, yeah,
Yep.
dude. But my point being is that basically Brad dips out and like I don't want you're not left high and dry, but it's like, oh dude, one of my guys is gone and there wasn't a whole lot of
Mhm.
people skateboarding at the time, you know? So
Actually, I was good on that trip. I was saying that hurt me, but no, I mean it hurt me that he was gone. But I still had at this time, I still had Mitch was coming to pick me up. I
Yeah.
had Brun
Swing
still coming
by.
to pick me up. And then by this time, Wussler is a little older and he has another crew now. So
yep.
now Wussler has what we used to call the remember West County Connect because the
Yeah.
West Side Connection was out there, West Side. And so
Yeah.
we called all
Yeah.
them West County Connect. They were the West County Connection.
Yep.
And it was Adam Brown, Jason Wussler, Klotz, Gruey,
George.
and
Yeah.
Yep.
George.
Yeah.
Yeah, those that was who
Yeah.
I was seeing. Like that was the squad
Totally.
right
Yeah. Yeah. A couple
there. And
more
like they
dudes.
were
Yeah. Like,
dude, they
yeah.
were so
That's tough.
cool. They had the illest
Mhm.
clothes, the illest
Oh
cars.
yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
were smashing back then. Like
Mhm.
I wasn't putting it down right there. You feel me? They were killing it. They were like they could have make a movie about those boys from like back there. They had a cool
Dude,
look.
I just remember lots of swishy pants, lots of gold chains and stuff like that.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it.
Dude.
I loved it.
Those guys were rad though.
Yeah,
And those guys, dude, now that I think about it, like they got good in a pretty short period of time, if I recall
real quick.
Yeah.
correctly, too. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Whistler was always good.
well, yeah, but I'm just thinking of the
Since he
rest of
was
the
like an
crew.
infant.
Like I remember when they
Yeah.
started
That's what
showing
it,
up, and then they towards the end, I was like, oh damn, like they're getting good, you know?
I
Yeah.
think they had
Yeah.
Wessler. You know what I'm saying? Like they had
True.
something
Yeah.
to look at and like kind of and they're it's
Hmm.
close to the same age. So they're like, shit, if this motherfucker can
Yeah.
do it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they put in that time though. I guess they probably put in their
Yeah.
10,000 hours like in a smaller amount of time than
Yeah.
ours was spread out since we started at such a young,
Yeah.
or at least for me, it was spread out since I started at a young age, but
Yeah.
they just put it, concentrated their time into it.
Yeah.
Such a rad time.
Yep.
Like
Once
12
you
minutes.
got done with high school or towards the end of high school, you kind of took a break from skating. Is that right?
I quit before I quit like, I didn't quit purposely.
Okay.
What happened was, like I said, Brad moved.
Yep.
And I think all right, once Brad moved, my thing was this. I used to always go skate outside of Kirkwood. So I didn't really want to be seen skating in Kirkwood anymore because I used to get into so much fights and arguments and just stuff over it. So my whole thing was like, yo, I just only skated on the weekends when Brad would pick me up, and
Sure.
then nobody at my high school would see me, because everyone in my high school, they stuck in they place. They're not venturing out.
What high school is this? Is Kirkwood High School? Is that the deal?
Yeah, that's Kirkwood
Okay.
High. So
Okay. Okay.
majority of those kids are in Kirkwood. They're like they're not going downtown. Like
Yeah.
they're like
15 minutes down
right.
the
So
road. Yeah.
bro, that was like so foreign to people.
Yeah.
But
Yep, I remember that.
so yeah, so I still had so I wasn't skating Monday through Friday. I wouldn't get caught skating in Kirkwood. Every once in a while I would go to like Webster if my mom would get home early enough with the van. I think I had my license by then.
Okay.
And then I would go over to the Ghetto Park in Webster and skate. And then that was pretty much the end of my skating because when I turned 16, I got a job instantly.
Yep.
Like right when I think I got a job the week I turned 16. Right? Or I got my license, and then I went and got my job at Steak and Shake. And I was just a young dude. Like I I wanted to work. I was like, I want some
Yep.
money, I want some nice shoes, I want some clothes, all that
Yep.
stuff. And I was still skating. And then, yeah, if you're going to school and then like,
Straight
you
to
get off of
work.
school at 3 and you got to be at work by 5, and then you do that from 5 to 10, and then you got to do your homework and then repeat it all. It
Yep.
was just no time for skating. And it wasn't like, I was like, I'd rather do this than skating. I was just like, I guess that's just, I knew at 16, that's what you do. You get a job, like you start working.
Yeah.
And I just slowly, I was work. Oh, when you work, you know how it is when you get your first job. What do you have to do? You always have to work the weekends.
Yeah, for
You know what
sure.
I'm
That
saying?
too,
Yeah.
Like,
right?
so,
Yeah.
so I'm going to school Monday through Friday, like, and then
Mhm.
what? It gets dark at 5, like most of the time. It's
Sure.
just like just how everything was working out. I just slowly stopped skating. It
Yep.
was just wasn't time for it.
Nice.
And yeah, so I would say, yeah, 16, I started it really started slowing down. And then I don't know. I just remember I
Another
remember
one that hurt.
Yeah.
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 And
But
like I
I
said,
had
it
so
wasn't
much
on
going
purpose.
on. I was in my life. I was like, but
Likewise.
it was bumming. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody did because like then what Wessler moved,
Yeah.
Tim and
shit,
Joe
Tim and them,
moved.
Tim
Yeah.
moved. Yeah, everyone was like
Yeah.
moving. So that's what it was. Like I think it slowly slowed down because also my community or whatever, my support team,
Yep.
everyone's going that way. And I wasn't even mad at those guys. I was just like, I think it was
Totally.
just
Yeah.
all happening, just like how life sometimes life just brings it to you, and you don't really choose things. You kind of just go with stuff. I think it kind of just went like that because I didn't dislike skateboarding. I
Yep.
still loved it at that time, but I was going through a lot that had to deal with skateboarding, like dealing with the outside community, how they looked at it and
Yep.
stuff. But yeah, I'd
But
say
then
16. By the time I graduated, I definitely wasn't on the board anymore. I think I would step on it here and there. I think I heard about like a contest that was at a church in North County once. I like
oh yeah.
drove out with that and stuff and checked it out, but I hadn't been skated, and then eventually I just hadn't skated.
Yeah.
And I
But at
picked it
some
back up at 23,
23. 23?
23.
At age 23.
Yeah. I
From
bought
When
my
you picked it back up.
wait,
yeah.
wait. It
Hey,
was
peep this, peep this. They say
I thought it
muscle
was only like
memory.
a couple.
so
Yeah.
did
They say
I.
Years.
they say muscle memory is 7 years.
Right on
Damn.
the
But
edge,
how many
dude.
how many years is that?
Right on the
Close.
7 years exactly. That's crazy, right?
Wait, I'm with Matt. I
But
thought this
hey,
was like 2 years.
so check this out though. I don't remember. I don't think I was living here at the time, but Joe saying, "Oh, Jabari's skating
Yeah.
again,"
I
and
we don't
I was like, I did remember that it was maybe a little while that he'd been off the board. I was like, "How's it going?" He's like, "Oh man, he's a, he's looking a little shaky right now, but he's psyched." So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
He said I used
yeah,
to scare him
yeah, yeah.
because I
I
was like trying
remember
to charge stuff fast and stuff,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like he
We
didn't have it yet.
But
we
you
were
didn't forget that's how you got to do it, right? Like
yeah.
if
Well,
you
you
want
know
to
what
do it.
messed me up? The first time I went skating when I turned 20, what was it? Maybe I went skating a week before I turned 23. I just know that I bought myself a board at 23. I bought a whole new complete at Infinity. And but I went skating a little bit before that with Herbert, and we skated flat ground at a school. And then the first day we went out skating, dog, I was landing flip tricks. Now let me say they weren't like looking all buttery and clean, and I was landing primo a lot and eating shit, but like it had been 7 years, bro. And I was like,
Wow,
I think I did fakey trays
sick.
and stuff like
Oh,
that because we were like playing skate, and like I said, it wasn't the ill ones, it wasn't, but I was just like tripping. I was like, damn, I can still kind of
yeah.
do shit. And after
I'm
that one fucking day, bro, I was like, no, yo, every weekend after that, because I was working at AT&T out in town.
okay.
I was
Got it.
working there like Monday through Friday, and my hours were from 11 to 8 p.m. So you
Party
can't really
hours,
skate
dude.
during you can't really skate during the week because
Yeah.
it's dark by then. So every weekend I skated. I stopped going out. I stopped going to clubs, strip clubs, all that stuff. Like it didn't even interest me anymore. I was just like, yo, I want to skate. And that's so
Yeah.
every weekend hitting up hurt like, yo, where y'all skating? Like,
Yeah, yeah. I remember
yeah.
Joe after he moved back from Los Angeles, we were all downtown skating. And I remember you were there. I was like, oh shit, Jabari's back. Like we were skating in that alley with that tall ledge, St.
St.
Charles.
Charles or
Yeah, yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, Dude, I did not realize it was that long of a break. That's insane. I literally thought it was a couple years, maybe.
So
Yeah.
so like I said, it would have been what I would have turned 16 in 97.
Okay. Okay.
I'm 1 year behind, each. So I would have turned 16 in 97. I know every once in a while, like I said, I was popping up still at the Ghetto Park at Webster because that was, yeah, every once in a while I was popping up there,
Yep.
and that was like every blue moon. And then, yeah, all I really remember is I remember finding because I was so out of the loop, like I wasn't
Yeah.
hearing anything. And then by sophomore year, I was slowly out of it. Like I
Yeah.
think I remember one time I heard about a demo that was LeVar, James Craig. It was a blind demo downtown
Downtown. Yeah.
in a hangar
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was so distanced from skating at that time. So I came down there. I think I ended up not skating though, because I was feeling kind of
I remember talking to you
off.
at that. I was at that.
So I was there, but I hadn't been skating.
Matt, you were there too. I remember hanging with you there as well too. Yeah, Ron Krager, Gershon, that crew were
Yep.
skating. Yep.
James
Oh,
Craig was
yeah.
there.
Yep. Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Mhm.
So cause what year would so that would that have
I
been
can't
before Soka? Because like
98 or something. Yeah, or
That was
was that
nine.
Soka?
That
Was
was
that when
Soka.
Soka
That
starts or
yeah, that was
something? Yeah.
1998, maybe 97-ish, somewhere in there.
I don't
See, so
Because
know.
90,
Yeah.
so
yeah,
97, like I said,
yeah,
I turned
yeah.
16, started working.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
97, 98. I didn't even skate 98. I think I just happened to know about I knew about that. I went to that. Like I know I was out of skating because I was a video freak. And I bought every video. I had
Oh,
to I
skate
was
videos.
yeah,
Oh
I
wow.
just consumed that shit. Like I consumed it. And I should have known it was over because the last when the first Rodney Mullen verse day one, I didn't have that.
Mm,
Whatever era that was, that showed where what because the last big stuff I had was Mouse.
mouse. Okay.
I had the you know what I'm saying? Like it would be Mouse and Trilogy. Mouse
Yeah.
and Trilogy.
Got it.
That was it. Mouse and
Yeah,
Trilogy,
because
and then
that's
I had a bunch of other
96. Yeah.
4-on-1s.
Yeah. That's
But
about that
like
same time.
I remember always asking Bobby, like, yo, I want to borrow. He had a copy of that world video because like you know how big 20 shot was
Oh yeah.
and was. So this was the next part. And I just remember
Right.
like not having a kind of a disconnect. Like I didn't even know like, dude,
Yeah.
I know people's parts. Like I go like he did this and this and this and this. Like
Yeah.
I had a
Yeah.
disconnect. It was a
Yeah.
disconnect once that video came out and that sucked. Like I still trip. Like I look at that now, I'm like, damn, this shit's fire.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
watch, yeah.
It almost becomes so dense at that point, though, too. Like, I'm
Like I
almost
still
gonna
haven't been able
tell
to
you,
catch him.
yeah, like maybe you didn't miss anything because it became really hard to keep to watch it all. Even with even you say that today's world, but the amount of videos coming out just
Yeah.
kind of gets
Throw 4-1
crazy.
in the mix, and there's just a
Yeah,
lot going on, you know?
it's hard to see them all for
Yeah.
sure. But you
Uh,
want to see the world video, right? So yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, yeah, I
yeah,
do. I mean, everyone has their own
yeah,
thing. I
yeah,
just tripped off. Like I haven't caught up from my that 7 years.
Yeah.
yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that
There's
I haven't.
probably a
There's a lot of
shit
stuff
ton of
that I should.
videos that you'd have to watch.
But
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff that for me being such a nerd of skateboarding, love. There's a lot of stuff I haven't seen. Like, and
yeah,
people will be surprised. You can name something like, "Damn, you haven't seen that, Jabari?" Like,
yeah.
you know
There
skating,
was
you
a break.
understand
You had a
skate.
little
Yeah,
break.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was a long time. All
S-
that toy machine, like a lot of stuff. Like
s- You
even
so
Shorty,
oh
like
shorty. I
Kirkwood.
was well, the
I
era
missed
you're
that.
speaking of is like Toy Machine Zero and Shorties, all that stuff's kind of popping at that time, which
I
could be
missed all
good.
that.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
which you know how I see it as good though, because I was so caught up in skating and gorge. I might have started to try to skate big.
Go on the
The
rails.
big was going because that's what was in, and I was just so much into skating and following it, and I might have fucked around and just got broke off at a young age. Like
Right.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
able to
you never
start
know.
skating at an older age, and people didn't understand because like, yo, I didn't skate for 7 years.
Yeah.
Didn't get
Jeez.
broke off. Like maybe it gave me some time to rejuvenate. Like I was fat, I was hella overweight, but other than that, I'm like I wasn't taking falls and hitting the
Mhm.
concrete,
Yeah, yeah.
getting
The
battered and stuff.
joints are good. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they were.
what
They were, yeah.
what happened between 23 and going to San Francisco? What's that time frame look like? Is that a lot or is that a little? Because
It
I'm confused.
seemed so quick to me from an
Pretty quick.
outsider's
It was quick.
perspective.
Okay.
So 23, start back skateboarding, get your board. Um, okay, I know I moved in '07. So
How old are you? What year is
I
you?
turned
What year is
23 in '04.
so
I
3 years
moved to
later?
SF in
SF.
'07.
Okay.
I didn't realize it was that quick. So '04 start back. I end up losing my job at AT&T. They laid everybody off, and it was a really good paying job. I was making a lot of money. But once I started back skateboarding, it's crazy. I started hating working. Like I didn't, when I wasn't skating, it didn't really bother me that much. Isn't that crazy? I didn't even really think about it much. But as soon as I picked the board back up, it really irritated me and agitated me that I was in there. And so we get laid off, and I wasn't, since I'm so agitated, I'm like, I'm gonna go to California. I'm gonna take a trip. So I'll go out and I go for a month. I don't pay my truck note. I hire my truck.
I remember this. I remember
Yeah,
this somehow, dude. Yeah.
yeah. Because I remember I hid in my grandma's garage because I was like, yeah,
Yes.
there was no connection to her to me at the
Yeah.
time. So I was like, I'm just gonna hide in there. Like they ain't gonna go in her. They can't go in her garage. Like
Yeah.
all that. And so I was like, yeah, let's go to Cali. And I was figure it out. Went out there. I only stayed for a month. I didn't look for a job. It was a big culture shock to me.
Just
And
straight up on vacation, more or less. Or are you feeling it out at that point?
well,
Like,
I was just too young. I didn't know what I was really doing. I was like,
sure.
yeah, I'm gonna go fill it out. But like I said, my plan was like, yo, look for some jobs, see what we can do. Cause I just got laid off, but I was getting unemployment and I was getting good unemployment because I was
Yeah.
like 30 an hour. So like the employment was cool that I like, oh, I can live off this until this runs out. Like I'm good. I can pay
Yeah.
my bills and shit. But that's why I didn't pay my bills so I could go to Cali. And I just used so I could have either stayed at home in Missouri and paid my bills with my unemployment or go to Cali. So I went to
Yep.
Cali, did it for a month. I loved it, but it was also a culture shock. And like I said, I was young and I didn't have no plan. I didn't really look hard out there. And then I knew I still had stuff that I'd take care of back in St. Louis. So then I, go back to St. Louis, get a whatever job, just start, working and just keep skating on the weekends as much as possible. I think, my truck gets totaled out. So now
Mm.
I'm like, I don't have a vehicle anymore. And that was kind of hard for a minute, kind of pay that off. So I could even get a new vehicle and it was crazy. But yeah, eventually I think I talked to Brad. And Brad was like, bro, he kept it, I was always like, why don't you come out here? And I was like, you didn't. I'm like, what the fuck would I do out? The fuck would I do in California? Like, now I'd never be like, shut the fuck up. And in my head, I'm like, man, shut the fuck up. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, y'all niggas pro. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's just like, what you gonna do? And then like one day, I swear, I always say, I've said this to so many people, but I'm pretty sure he did say this. He was just like, bro, and you working a bullshit job right now. Why don't you just come out here and work a bullshit job? I'm pretty sure that's what Brad said, that it clicked in my brain. And I was like, fuck.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm working a bullshit job. I'm not even working a good job right now. Like,
Yeah.
we'll go out there and do the same thing and figure it out. And so I was telemarketing at the time. I ended up leaving that job to work for AutoZone. And the only reason I went to work for AutoZone, I don't know nothing about cars, but I saw that there was AutoZones in the Bay Area.
Oh, nice. Get a
My
job
my whole
transfer, huh?
idea, because I wasn't like smart enough to like have another, like find a job out there. So I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna transfer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and that's what I ended up doing. I transferred
Really?
Oh,
to
You went
sick. No way.
worked at an AutoZone out there?
yeah, but the thing is, there's no auto zones in San Francisco when I moved out there. So I was going from San Francisco to Fruitvale. The movie
Oh,
Fruitvale
Yeah,
where dude
yeah.
got
And I know that's like the end of the BART line, isn't it? Or something crazy?
nah. It
No?
was far, but it's like, man, I know the end of the BART line. I used to sleep on that motherfucker. That's
Yeah.
a story. I don't know. A lot of people know about it. The turf part, I was homeless. I was
I
sleeping on
remember you saying that you were just
the
getting on, sleeping, go ride it back
yeah.
and forth, sleep for a bit, and then yeah.
Hey, it paid off.
Yep.
But
yeah.
yeah, Fruitvale. So I was like riding all the way from the avenues. I'd have to take like the N Judah from the avenues to downtown, and then downtown I would take the BART to Fruitvale and then get off there and then walk to the. It wasn't that far from there. It was like it was a hell of a close walk,
Mm.
and then walked there and I was working that. I was like, so I wasn't even skating Monday. Once again, I'm
Yep.
not skating Monday through Friday because like I'm mobbing all day for
Yeah.
work, and I would just the days I had off. That's when I would try to go skate with Brad and
Yeah.
them. You know what I'm saying? And I did that for a while, and then I was like, can't do this shit no more. And then I got a job in the city. But once I got a job in the city, I didn't have nowhere to live in the city no more. I had to move to East Oakland. So
Oh
then I
wow.
was back and forth to other.
Oh man. Yeah.
I was like, bro, I would have been better working at staying at the auto zone because I was
Yeah.
in East Oakland. It was in East Oakland, but it all paid off. You know,
Yeah.
you got to pay
What
your dues.
at what point in San Francisco do you start skating more? Because it seemed that clearly happened, right?
Well, I mean, I had already been skating a lot before I moved out there.
Okay. So you're feeling confident back
Like
on
I
the
said,
board again?
well,
Yeah.
AT&T, I was only skating on the weekends, but once I got laid off, I'm skating whenever I can.
Okay.
Like I was working, but
Yeah.
I was skating a lot then.
There's that
And
little
then, yeah.
part that you and Brad share in one of those Herbert videos, right? That's probably around that
Oh
time.
yeah, I forgot about yep. And
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
just from being around trying to.
Oh,
Hmm.
yes, there's some clips of Brad from St. Louis when he was visiting it. A couple. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep, yep,
I
yep.
always love the switch nose Manny on that one, on the curve
Yeah,
ledge.
that is all the like beginning. I
Hmm.
might you know
God.
what?
Dude, I
Switch
was
Nose
there
Man
for
was
that.
my first clip I think I ever filmed.
Oh wow.
That
And you did that quick too. I remember, I feel like I know I was there for that. I remember
yeah, I
like
Steved it
tripping
out
on
at the
that.
end. It was horrible, but I was stuck to I was
No, I like the
hyping it
revert.
too.
You do like a revert, right?
Yeah,
Like
I
a,
think
oh,
I
I
don't know. I
love
did my
that.
arm weird, but
Oh,
I was hyped.
fuck. I
I was
love that
hyped.
one. I'd probably copy you if do that.
That's funny.
Well,
Uh,
yeah. Oh no, Dad. What was the we were just on?
At some
so I don't know. We're bouncing
skating,
Oh,
back to St.
skating
Louis a little bit. Yeah.
and SF starts to turn like it becomes more.
oh,
It's not just weekends,
Yeah.
right? At some point.
it would have been so auto. Like I said, I was AutoZone. Then oh yeah, so after AutoZone. So when I was in, how did I make that happen? Maybe I don't know. AutoZone. I didn't work for a little bit. Then I got hired at Abercrombie and Fitch. So this was the
Oh wow.
skateboarder
Yeah.
job
Yeah.
because everybody worked there overnight, like
Stocking.
resetting up
I've
the
heard this.
showroom
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
like
Hmm.
Jack Curtin. I think
Yeah.
like hella people worked there back in the day. So oh, shout out to Jacob because they didn't hire me. They weren't fucking with my black ass. And he's like, nigga, just come in. And I just went in on orientation and fucking told them they called me and I
That's
just took the
amazing.
job, bro.
That's
He told
amazing.
me, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
here. I'm here.
Pure seven Jacob. Shout out to my boy. He was like, bro, they do it every Sunday at this time. Just come in and tell them you called. And I come in, they're like, we don't have a book for you. I'm like, I don't know what to say, motherfucker. Because they said to come in. And
Yeah.
they're like, all right, we'll just make you a new book. And that's how I got that job.
Right
So,
on.
Yeah, those moments in that city that's hard to live in feel so good too when
mhm.
somebody hooks it up like that, man. Yeah.
Real shit, yeah. And that's when I was skating full time because that was overnight. So I didn't have to
Ah,
be there until I think we clocked in at 9:30 or either 7:30 or 9:30. I think 7:30. So yeah, I would just skate all day.
yeah.
There was nowhere to go. You skate all day, and then when nobody was skating and it wasn't time to go to work yet, I go to like Virgin Music
Oh, nice.
on Market and just listen to fucking, I'm a music head. So I just go listen to new albums and then go into work and
Was
then
that
shit.
was it hard to skate after doing your shift like that though, or because you what was
No, I
your
was so my shifts was like I'm going in at 7:30 at night. I
mm,
was never there the latest. I used to always dip out early. I could get my shit done pretty quick. But that was stupid because nothing's running then. Like the BART and all that stuff's not running. So then I would kind of like just kill time. I think Bart started back at 5 in the morning, or no, it started back before 5, like four some weird time for people that had
yeah.
to be at work at 5.
Hmm.
And then I'd hop on that shit then. And then so for real, I wasn't that short of my hour. Like, you know how they say you should try to get 8 hours?
Yeah.
I'm getting on there like 4:30, 4:50, and I'm not coming back out until noon. that's 6 hours. That's
Oh,
almost.
okay. You would get back home and sleep or whatever. Okay,
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
understood.
on the I'm on the stage, yeah, on the BART. I
Yeah,
was just like
yeah.
sleep,
Skate,
Oh
and then
wow.
skate
Damn.
before work, not after work, is what he's doing.
Yeah. Okay.
Get on the
yeah,
board
yeah,
around
yeah.
1 or
So
2
sleep,
p.m., right? 3
wake
p.m.,
up at
whatever.
noon, and
Yep.
I get off the BART at Embarcadero, and
Yeah.
what's up, boys? What's
Yeah,
good?
right.
Like, yeah, yeah. And
Damn.
then, like, you know what I'm saying? And then all of us had EBT. So we're all eating at the Subway across the street from the island in the
Yep.
Barcadero. So it was just like it was communal, which was kind of
Yeah.
dope. Like we'd all go over there, broke ass to go over there, and we all, what's the special today? Yo, put my cookies in the microwave, son. Heat that shit
Yeah.
up. I want my shit all gooey. It was dope. I loved it.
Dude,
I'm
that's
sure
funny.
plenty of za stops as well.
Oh, Zah definitely
Yeah.
thank God for Zah. They definitely
Oh
held me
yeah.
down when I didn't have any money, and I went there a lot too. So I would skate all day, and then I would have to break off from my crew because Zah can't feed everybody.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
break off from them, and then I would go up to Zah by myself, and then Wessler, Brad, Jones, y'all them
Mhm.
would be working. As soon as I walk in, they want to know, what do you want? What kind of pizza you want?
Yep.
Right.
What salad you want? They'll give me some, good 2 slices, give me a fat ass salad. Half
Yeah.
the time I wasn't even drinking beer because I would have to work overnight. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, give me a Sprite, bro.
Yeah.
Get a Sprite, eat my salad. I'm like eating, I was eating good, eating right, and then
Yeah.
go to work.
Dude, Za was a
Yeah.
lifesaver, man.
They hooked
Jesus.
it up.
Oh yeah, they were generous. They were generous.
Mm.
So when you're in SF, you start getting some boards from folks? Yes?
That's that nine. No, 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 not right
No?
away. Well, so I mean, I'm Brad. I'm with Brad. So pretty much Brad
Brad's
introduced me
on
to
Western
Ando.
Edition, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah, but Brad wasn't giving me bored. He introduced me to Ando, and you know how Ando takes care of everybody.
Yep.
So pretty much, I was able to go in the FTC and set up a board whenever I needed to. I can say that I never took advantage of that situation. I never, you know what? Out of all the years, I'll keep it real. I probably sold maybe 3 boards, bro.
Mm.
Out of over a decade.
Just grabbing boards off the wall at FTC or grabbing
So
FTC boards or whatever?
yeah, no, real talk. Out of being like, I don't think no other skater could say that. And like, I gotta say that. I got another thing about I probably sold 3 decks,
Yeah.
three stinking decks out of over a decade. Most people,
Yeah.
can't.
The give to
I
sell
rode,
ratio.
yeah, 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 yeah. I rode on my boards. I did break boards because I was more heavier and I had pop. So, but I'd ride boards. If I broke them, go up there and set up a new board, and it would never be a problem. But I also never took advantage of the situation. Like
Yeah.
I was riding my boards, like, and that wasn't because I was good. That was just out of love. That was out of how Ando just fucked with me because I was under BJ, and then me and Ando, we had a relationship, a
Yeah.
relation with
That
each
dude's
other.
like real generous, yeah? I've got that vibe from him
Just
and I don't even know him.
he's real generous, just a real one. He just knows what it is, man. For real, the way he's moving is the way everyone's supposed to move and should have
Yeah.
that way. Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, actually, yeah, Ando is next. They're generous.
Yep.
He's done stuff for me I can't even believe, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? There's been times where I was really down and out. Um, but yeah, it was Ando. He held me down because no
Cool.
one knew who I was. Um, so I was always riding FTC boards, and then I kicked it with York when he first moved to the city, but we just kicked it at a party, like me, him, and Brad. And later on, we met skating, and York was like, "Yo, I didn't even know you skateboarded. I thought you were one of I thought you were one of Brad's rapper friends from St. Louis." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Okay." And so, yeah, I mean, I would just get FTC boards, but I wasn't even on FTC
Yeah.
because, like, I mean, shout out to Kent. I love Kent too, but like, you got to prove yourself. Like, everybody and their mama asking Kent for some shit. So I never really tried to be like that, you know what I'm saying, with them. And eventually, I don't know, I realized like I must be doing something right because now he realized like, oh, this isn't some kid just coming around trying like
Yeah.
freeloading off me and trying to get stuff. Like I was out there skating. I love skating. And like I was gonna do that regardless if I got boards from you guys or not. But y'all helped that was a huge push for me. And yeah, that's when I knew I was doing shit. When Kent was like, "Hey, what's up, Jabari?" Like,
Yeah,
you're doing something if Kent noticed you. You feel me?
sure.
Yeah, for
Big
sure.
boss man.
So
And,
York was living in LA during the times when we were out there because he was living with Robbie and Dirty Dan and
Yeah.
stuff, or
mhm.
Roberts maybe or something like that. But then he moved back up to the Bay, right? That was
Yeah,
the deal,
Yeah.
and
yep,
started Turf.
yeah. He
Right?
started Turf. I was the last one on that.
Yeah.
So he started Turf.
Who were the first dudes on it? Like Larry Redman,
Sammy. I
Sammy.
think
That's
he
right.
had his idea for Sammy from the beginning.
Jason was in there, right?
Yeah,
Wessler.
yeah. What I
Yeah.
mean, Wessler was the being. I think it was like Sammy and Wessler, like they're from the beginning, like, and then everybody was on there. Yeah, yeah. I was literally the last person on the team. Like
Yeah.
my part, I didn't film that for a turf part. That was just me moving out there and like it felt like how I was when I was a kid, and it was just me and Jason and Brad skating.
Yep.
So and then Godo gave Brad his camera. So Brad started filming again like he did when we were kids.
Oh,
So he
right.
was
Nice.
filming me and Wessler. And then like I didn't really film much because like I'm just starting at skating. So they're like, yeah, this thing ain't you film good. So I mean like someone else will film Brad, but like all that footage was just it was like a reemergence of like St. Louis childhood. And it
Yeah.
was like SF and it was us three back together
Got the old
again.
crew back
And,
together.
and Brad was filming his little brothers. Like,
Yep.
oh, that's like let me film that.
Shit,
And
Brad
that's
behind the camera just talking shit the whole
Always so
yeah,
time.
motivated though to
yeah,
film.
Yeah.
yeah.
I forget that about him, man. He
Yeah.
films so much. And yeah.
He had a
Yeah.
camera early on and at the right times at the right place and was always the one
You
holding it, aiming it, you know?
is he got a shitload of footage of you probably over in St. Peter's?
Uh
Todd? I don't
maybe.
know.
I don't I'm
Yeah.
we're talking little kid jump ramp stuff, if anything.
Yeah. I kind of
I
remember you
remember seeing
being
some
kind of
footage of
anti-camera too for a little while. I
Yeah,
guess we
yeah,
all were. We all
yeah,
were. So
I remember seeing footage of you and Brad at this school, and I think it's out of St. Peter's, and it would be like a black top bump
oh dude,
and
yes.
flat, and then a rail behind it. And I was like, always like, yo, that
oh
spot looks
yeah.
Dude, that
ill.
Yes.
is
And you guys had
JL
JL.
those
Mud.
shorts like this
JL
big
Mud,
Yeah,
right?
that's JL Mudd Elementary. It's right by that Westoff skate park.
over real.
Dude, that place was incredible and like that bump was perfect. Like it did it what it was supposed to. But yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
O'Fallon,
what
dude. Freaking O'Fallon.
Dude.
Um, so was Turf through anything or was it just on its own? York getting boards made and that's the deal. Like, was there somebody backing, like a
Crazy
distribution
story
company?
behind that. So Turf was already, if I remember correctly, there was a skate shop, Kingpin Skate Shop in Stockton, in the Twomp Nina 209. If you Stockton, California. I think Turf was already their company,
Okay.
like the guys who own Kingpin. I think they already had the idea for Turf or something like that. And then they reached out to York, or York fucked with them, and they just and he came in, and then they made Turf.
Yep.
It was a lot of different levels to Turf, and yeah, there was no like funding or anything. Like when I was on it, it was just them doing it.
Yep.
There was no like
Straight out of the garage type of
invest,
situation.
yeah, no investor or anything
Yep.
like that. So it's crazy that they were able to do what they were able to do. I'm pretty sure, I don't know. I'm not the greatest to ask because I wasn't that deep into it.
Yep.
I know after I left, and then I ended up being like an investor. This dude Sean and all that, a lot of stuff.
Yes. Yep.
But
Yep.
before it was pretty much I think Rob, it was the two brothers that run Kingpin and York, and then we just really were just skating, having
Yeah.
fun. But somehow, I mean, it's York. I think anything that York puts his finger on is gonna do good. If there was money behind it, probably could have done really fucking good because
Yeah.
he
You
just
know,
understands marketing. He understands just having fun, and like he understands what skateboarding really is, and he knows how to fucking push that, and you see it like yeah.
I
All
I was thinking about this today, like kind of spacing, but like thinking about turf, and I have memories of turf being really early on with the YouTube thing. Like, weren't there like videos that were put out like almost monthly, or like Turf Wednesdays or Whistler Wednesdays, and
That
like
was after, yeah,
that's
that was after
that's
I had
early,
left.
but
Hmm.
that's early on what now people make their living off of, like that
Yeah.
was pretty cool to think back, like, oh, they were kind of on that really early
Well, a lot
on,
of people, the video Brad put out of me, him, and Wustler, that was one of the first like viral videos, supposedly, like in
Oh,
skateboarding.
really?
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
because that was the very beginning
The
of
Three
people.
Amigos one?
Mm-hmm. Because
Oh,
if you really
sick.
think about that time, how many other videos were you watching on YouTube then?
Right. There,
Nobody
or
was.
you would maybe be going to like something else, Hella Clips or something,
No,
like
Heliclips
there
wasn't
was,
around yet.
Heliclips.
oh
Wow.
Heliclips
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
even
Or
existing yet. 48 blocks
so
wasn't even existing yet.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was about to
yeah.
ask about that, if that was maybe some motivation for filming too,
No,
but
we were
yeah,
just
there
filming
you,
because
or
that's
you'd
what
go
we
to
did.
yeah, I don't, yeah.
Yeah,
The
this was.
landscape was very different back then
Hmm?
for
So
video and where you
is
got it.
that Three Amigos video? Are you on turf at that and during that?
So
Or
all Three Amigos is pretty much my turf part, but it was out before turf.
oh wow. Oh
It's not
wow.
all my footage, but a lot of that footage is there.
So you had a bunch of footage that you could divide up into two parts potentially, like to put some here, put some there, or did you double dip?
No, it was definitely double dipped
Oh, it was.
because what it was because you got to hear me out. I wasn't on turf yet. I
Yeah.
wasn't filming for turf.
Oh, got it, got
So
it.
so that's what happened. They put out that Three Amigos because I wasn't on anything. I wasn't on Western. I wasn't on turf. Brad was just putting it out there, and then he was just putting out. He thought it was fun, and then I think turf was already a part, and I think the stuff that he was using for Jason might have not. He like knew he wasn't going to use or something, and then yeah, I don't know. At the end, I think I had a part. I can't remember how it actually happened, but I know I was the last person on the team,
Got it.
and I ended up
Yeah.
putting that part together,
Wow.
and it was just yeah, footage that I filmed with Brad and Poor. That whole footage is Brad and Mike
Oh,
Poor.
or
There's
such a
nobody. Yeah,
sick dude.
and this, I'm tripping. I want to give everybody props that film that. There has to be there's poly clips in there too, big
Mm.
poly.
Yeah.
Because these are all my. These aren't just filmers. These are like my friends and family. Like I love these guys. Um, yeah, but
What
yeah,
happens with
that
turf?
part was really. That's why I think it turned out not to too long, but kind of cool because I wasn't trying to film it. I
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
like I have to do something this good or I have to do that. All that stuff in there, I wanted to do. I was at I
Yeah.
was at I was at Abercrombie the night and telling the homies Mike Soto, who was living out there at the time, and he's from St. Louis, and I'm like, bruh, I switched back, left the table today, bro. Like, because you got to remember, I'm still hyped that I'm just back skating.
Yeah.
So now I'm like tripping that I'm like, oh, I wasn't doing this when I was a kid. Like now I'm like, oh, I'm actually maybe pushing, like surpassing what I was.
Well, yeah,
Like
as
I
well as
wasn't,
you got the backdrop of the East Bay, you got freaking a lot more things at your fingertips, right? More spots, more
yeah,
people, the whole deal.
definitely. But we weren't even. I mean, we were venturing a little, but we could have ventured a lot more.
Yeah.
But we're all working class too. So, like, if we're going to the East Bay, we like making sure we wake up and like maybe like those fools have to be at work at 4. So
Oh,
then we're like going to a spot on a weekday, trying to film, and then get back to the city. And then Brad will just drop us off wherever he said, like, I gotta get to work, bro. Like,
yeah.
just drop us
Yeah.
off, like,
Yeah.
or you come to my job. Like, all right. But like, yeah, like fools don't realize like the work that people put in sometimes, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Long days, man. Long days.
But I mean, we wanted it because it
Yeah.
wasn't like we were, yeah, we just
Yeah.
wanted it.
So what happened with turf?
Um,
Did it go out? Did you move on? I mean, ultimately, what happened?
a lot of different stuff, but I wasn't once Turf or another company. I wasn't trying to leave,
Yeah. I mean, at the
because
end of the day, it didn't sound like it was good, but it wasn't like,
I mean,
yeah,
I've never gotten anything from skating, so it wouldn't really
yeah.
matter.
Cup,
I could have stayed, but
sure.
what was I gonna say? I mean, no one knew of me before that, so I have to give it to them. Like that's
True.
what put me out there was my turf part. But right after my turf part happened, shit, my mom had got sick and
Mm.
she had to get this surgery. And she was just like, I need help for like just to recover from the surgery. So I'm like, all right, well, I knew I wasn't gonna live back in St. Louis, but I was like, I'll come back and just, until you help you recover, and then I'll come back to SF. So I didn't get rid of my room. I kept paying for my room and shit.
Oh wow.
And the plan was gonna be like, she's like, yeah, it should be like 30 days, like a month. I'm like, all right. But if it was a month, but it ended up being like 6 months. You know what I'm
Really?
saying? So
You were back in
yeah,
St. Louis during that time?
yeah,
Huh. Okay.
yeah, for 6 months. But I was taking care of my mom. So I
Yep.
was like, I wasn't partying then
Yeah.
for real. Yeah, I wasn't really partying back then. I didn't have money to party no way.
That's
So
maybe why I
I
didn't
was
see
just,
you when
yeah,
I
I
was
was like skating.
partying.
I was like just skating here and there and taking care of my mom and like just kicking it with my I had a girlfriend at the time here and just doing that. And I think I wasn't getting boxes
Yep.
or some. And I think that was just this had to do with the financial thing. But I think I kept getting told like, "Oh, boxes on the way," and then someone was like, "Nigga, ain't no boxes coming." And I think I like got mad at that. I'm like, "Damn, why you just tell me that?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I was like, "Yeah, I can just get a box. Like, I'm pretty sure I can just hit Ando and they send me an FTC box. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm still turf. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I think that happened. I think that kind of bummed me out. And then I don't know. Them fools probably didn't know what the deal was with me. You know
Yeah.
what
It
I'm
sounds a little out
saying?
of sight, out of mind type of thing almost,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, like that's
Yeah.
kind of weird for like, oh, you're
Yeah.
going back to St. Louis? I'm like, yeah, I gotta help my mom out. Like, I'll
Yeah.
be back.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, I don't even think people realize, like, bro, I'm sending money. The little money I did have, I'm sending it back to San Francisco because
Just
I'm
to
like, I'm
hold
making
that
sure
room.
I'm fucking
Yeah.
home when I come. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I loved it out there. So I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely coming back. So I just know some. It
Somewhere
was
in there.
mixed up on there, and then I had like. Yo, I had a lot like I don't know. I should have went harder, but I had like weird situations also. Like shout out to John Alden. I never like really talked to him on stuff about this, but me and John were cool. He just fucked with me like skating,
Who's
and
that?
he used to
Deluxe?
like TM, yeah, over at Deluxe like TM, and like yo, they were trying to fuck with me, like, but
I
but see,
remember hearing rumors of that, dude.
but,
Yeah.
but it's like fuck with me like this, like they're telling somebody adjacent to me and I don't realize like maybe that's how it works. Like, and
Mm.
I didn't realize that because they're telling Godo like, oh, we can see Jabari on anti-hero. And this sucks because I couldn't see that back then. But like I was still like, damn, that could have been stupid. Like,
That would have been
and I could have
incredible, dude.
training skills up. Yeah, but I didn't see it then because anti-hero didn't look the way it
I
does
know.
now.
Right.
Yep.
Back then, it was even more. It
Yep.
was more.
White
Pushing
bread.
pushing uphill, going to the
White
skate
bread.
park, gonna sleep in a train car. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, what's the
Yeah.
number? I'm trying to think of the number.
One
Is it
eight.
18? Yeah, it's that
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that shit and like whatever. Like I motherfucker rep what you rep. I'm gonna rep what I rep. But I've known anti-hero from day one, so I had kind of had
Mhm.
like that image. And like now I look at him like, damn, bro, you could have been that the first breed of bringing it over. And like
Yep.
I remember when I
Mhm.
see Andrew Allen, I'm like, damn, that could have been your fat ass Jabari. You're like,
Uh,
shout out to Andrew. That dude was raw as fuck.
Hell yeah.
But
oh yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I think I was that I'm thinking that was around that time because matter of fact, I'm tripping. I was
Uh,
riding real boards.
Oh, really? From those dudes or otherwise?
So, bro, I was kind of like I'm also very self-conscious about shit, but like Devo and Reyes, they were like, yo, if you ever need anything, just not on though. I didn't think of it like, oh,
Yeah.
they're trying to fuck with you. Like, come over on this side. They're just like, yo,
Mhm.
we fuck with you. You ever need anything, holler at us, we got you. And I think that's what it was. We didn't have turf boards.
Oh, so you just
That's
need
what it was.
boards.
Before I even left for St. Louis for my mom, we didn't have boards at the time. And then I'm like confused, like, what am I gonna ride?
Yeah.
And like I was getting FTC boards still all the time, but I remember,
You can't go in there and grab 20 FTC boards or it doesn't work like that. You
yeah,
grab a
and there's
FTC board.
there's an edit. I forgot it was maybe Vimby in my backyard or something like that I do. And like I'm clearly riding real skateboards, like in there, like I think I don't know, I do some kind of flip tail side trick. You'll see it's a fucking real skateboards. So I'm
Oh,
like
wow.
riding those, and I'm like thinking in my head, I'm like, yeah, dude, everything meshes together. Like I'm remembering the other shit that I
Yeah,
was so
yeah.
out of what. So I'm like riding those. I'm still so fucking poor and broke. And Mike Poor is still in SF, I think. He's so poor and broke. We're like so poor motherfuckers
Where was
skating,
this room?
starving.
Where's this room that you were holding on to? What neighborhood?
The H
So I can come back
in
there.
Hunters Point, Godo's house.
Is that the one that gets the mini ramp and stuff?
Yep,
All that?
yep. Because when I first moved in
Sick.
there, it was all Japanese people that didn't speak English, and then I was like the up in there.
That,
And then I think I
yeah.
moved in there, and see, I'm going all over the place. But I just remember being in the kitchen making food. And that Japanese girl came out of her room, looked and said, "Oh," she went back to the room, and I never saw her again. She moved.
Oh
Are
shit.
these
And then
like
it was
friends
like,
of Godo's or like his family or something?
no, these are Japanese people, and he's Japanese, and just like trust them, and like, but
Yeah.
they like barely speak English. They're
That's
there
what
cool.
happened since SF, yeah. When I
Yeah, they
moved
were
out
there for
there, my
school.
coworker lived with a couple families that shared an apartment. He rented a room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because they're
yeah.
all so they, culturally they fuck with each other in school. And they just
Mhm.
scared her. He should have told her. And he was like, "Who the fuck is black man?"
He's this guy making ramen in the kitchen, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It was ramen. Yeah. After I left and came back, they were all gone by then, and it was a skater house by then,
So
and
that's where
then
you came back to from St. Louis, back to that spot.
yeah, yeah, I was
Yep.
paying for my room the whole time. It was a skater house, and then by the time I moved back, all the skaters were kicked out, and it was just Godo and me, and we had a little business going on. You feel me? But
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah,
what year is this now? What year? 2024?
Right now
yeah.
it is, yeah. Almost done.
What is
So you're
this?
trying to think what years
I'm
this
at the wait.
is?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's yeah, 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 yeah.
Well,
Wait
I
till
know I visited you. That was
7 years.
like 2009, maybe, or 10.
Matt, you're out of
You
SF at
were,
this point, yeah?
but I was living in Bakersfield
Right.
and took a drive up there to just visit you at that
Mhm.
apartment. So it
Yeah.
was like
Yeah,
2010.
because
But you had already been living there a long time.
Hmm.
Yeah, because the ramp was gone, and
Oh yeah, if
pretty
the ramp was
pretty
gone, then yeah, that was
pretty
we was
sure
in
the ramp
trouble.
was gone. Yeah,
Yeah, that's why we got rid of it. I missed that
yeah,
ramp. That was dope.
yeah.
um, where
Yeah, we were
does
just talking about something. We got caught. Yeah, we
I'm
all over the
sorry. Yeah,
place. We trying to
right.
get
Yeah,
all
focused,
that's
right?
my
but it's
bad.
all good.
Where does
We were,
Western Edition come in?
oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's what we're talking.
The
Hey,
turf stuff. Yeah.
so peeps
So
this. I'm like everything's falling together now together. So I'm on turf. We don't have boards. I started to get a little attention because of that turf part.
yep.
So I remember like Transworld was like, yo, telling Paul Kami, like, yo, get some photos of he had to come in the Bay Area because they want Bay Area
Dude, that's
photos. And they
sick.
gave him like a list of names of people, like try to fuck with these people. Luckily, I was on the list, which
Hmm.
is crazy
That's so
because of that
rad.
turf part. So at this time, no boards, no turf boards. I am riding for turf. I think I'm getting boxes of real boards, riding those. And I'm trying to film for a Transworld part, but like the website, they were putting out
Yeah.
parts on the website. And I probably could have knocked that out more, but I was trying too hard. I was just like, I'm an overthinker. And like, I'm over here, like, just imagine how I looked in my turf part. But now I'm thinking, like, nigga, how the fuck do you nollie kickflip crook a handrail? Like, I was just like, I'm trying to go
Sure.
from the turf part to
Yeah,
that. Like, I'm thinking, like, that's what it is to be pro. Cause I'm like getting off, like, people are like, yo, go pro. I'm like, nope, hell no.
yeah.
Mm-mm. I'm like, you're not, nope. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna be a laughing stock. Like, fucking put my name on a board that I don't deserve. Like, I kind of felt that way. So I was trying to level up, and
Yep.
like that's when the Switch Big Hill went down at the library.
Oh yeah,
Switch
yeah.
Tail Slide
Yep.
in LA. It's like that's probably like one of the taller ledges I skated. That stuff's like in an LRG video, which a lot of
Mhm.
people haven't seen because it was ended
I
up being
haven't seen that either. I'll have to look for
What's
yeah.
the
that. Is that
bonus?
I
Bonus
have a lot
or
of
what?
footage that people never saw. People only just see my turf part, but
huh?
I was skating. It just
Yeah.
footage here and there everywhere. But
Yep.
I was at that point I was kind of hyped up because people were just like I got a good review.
You're
Remember
motivated.
Stevie
Yeah.
was at the premiere. Stevie was like, bro, you got some tricks. I mean, like I got that from Stevie, you know what I'm saying? That meant a lot. And
Yeah.
so I'm like kind of like, yo, I can kind of do this. So I'm trying, but that shit got hard, bro. It's just like trying to jump down shit. I'm like, I don't know how to do this. I'm too
Yeah.
big. shit. And but yeah, I was trying to go for it. I was trying to get, I was like thinking about maybe getting on a reel. And then, like I said, there was that talk about anti-hero and stuff, but it was never brought to me. It
Sure.
was brought to Godo, but I live with Godo. Like everyone was cool with Godo. So doing that, I think I end up going back to St. Louis to take care of help my mom out. I'm on the real boards, I think. And yeah, come still riding real boards out here. And then Brad calls me up and he was like, it'd be dope for my birthday. And I'm like, what's that? If you ride for Western. I
Oh,
was like,
wow.
what? No, I was like, no.
That's great.
Oh, I didn't say no. I was like, what? And I think someone had brought that to me before, but I loved Western, but then also Wustler wasn't on Western. I know it was a thing with
Yep.
him, and now he got kicked off. And then, yeah, I didn't know, but then I don't know. I started thinking about it. It's like, that would be dope. And
Dude,
I'm
that
just
seems
like,
pretty natural based on who you're hanging with. Going to
yeah,
FTC,
yeah,
like, yeah,
And I don't think like that though. I'll
yeah.
sometimes be
Well, you're in
oblivious.
the middle of it. It's easy to see from the outside. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I'm like right in between Ian and Ando. I'm like, that's who I'm with all the time. Like, I'm like, and that's Western Edition. You know, feel me? Like, oh yeah. So I didn't like put that together, and I didn't realize that all the people that hold me down and love me and family are. I was already thinking of FTC, but FTC and Western saying it's
Yeah.
a mess.
Yeah.
So I end up saying yes. They send me boards out,
But you're in
and
St. Louis and you're getting boards in St. Louis, Western boards.
I think so.
Yeah.
Or maybe they were sending FTC board. I don't know, but I know they started sending boards because if you look at the my welcome to Western Edition part,
Okay.
it's all St. Louis footage.
Is it? I'll have to
Yeah,
rewatch that.
yeah. I mean, it's only a few tricks. It's just like it was freezing cold. It was like just some tricks I filmed in the winter with Gabe.
No way.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. I have a line at the bridge on the Kings Highway in there, and
I'm
I've got a
sick.
back tail on a fucking highway barrier. I was like, who would ever be like? I was like, yo, I got a transition trick, bro.
No
Yeah,
way.
I actually filmed that one. I remember filming that one.
I couldn't believe when I rode away. I was like, what? How did I do this?
Yeah, Backtail revert, right?
Dude, you are ready for the anti-hero. You're under a bridge, you're skating a transition.
Switchback tails on train. I blew that, man. I blew a lot of opportunities, but hey, life is
No,
what it
we
is.
didn't
I ain't
blow
mad at it.
anything, man. No,
Hey,
no.
Yeah,
nah.
dude,
Big
watch it
Barry
from.
anti-hero, huh? When
Uh,
I shave my head,
Man,
bro.
that
Because it's crazy.
switch.
Because then I end up becoming cool with Andy Roy. Because when he gets out, he's connected with us with the trim and weed and that
Yep.
side of it.
Full
And it was
circle.
crazy because I would never speak to him at first when we used to trim because I remember him from 411s and like
Be a little
stuff.
intimidating, right?
I was like, this fool is gnarly. And
Yeah.
I remember how he looked with a shaved head. It was just like a little black. I'm just looking at the fool. Like, I don't know. That was the coolest motherfucker ever. And like, you can't get that motherfucker to stop talking. He just got the funniest stories, telling the craziest shit. And like, we would be trimming for like anywhere from 8 to 12 hours and just talking shit all day. And then I was like, no, Andy's that dude. And that made me think about that more. I'm like, damn, see, could have been on. Could have been chilling, bro.
I gotta share an Andy Roy story. I went on a random FTC demo with whatever Brad and Jason in maybe Stockton or something out there, you
No,
know?
it's the one in front of 510, yeah?
I don't know. We were out in the desert, right?
Yeah.
From the Bay Area, and it's wherever Andy Roy lived, fucking whatever town he lived in. And he shows up and he's vocal about like, I haven't been skating, and you could tell he's whatever dealing with the drug shit. And he gets somebody's board, and FTC had these huge fucking setups that they would bring around at the time, like a fucking ski jump drop in to a pyramid with a box on top of it. And
Okay.
Marcus and Rob could just fuck that up, like drop in, trick, trick, trick. Andy Roy gets up on top of this fucking thing and
Is it
drops.
drop it? It's gnarly.
And yeah, it's kind of gnarly just to
Yeah.
drop in. He's like, I haven't been skating, and you can tell he's kind of he wants to do it, but dude, he's shaking and shit. He
Okay.
eats shit so hard, like just first go, like dropping in the thing, dude. Anyways, I'll shut
He
up,
likes
man.
that shit though. He like,
He loved it,
All
dude.
right.
He was so psyched. Like, yeah, I mean, fuck, dude. It was so funny. And just he's skating there with Marcus and Raw. Like, it's just fucking funny, dude. Yeah.
Dude, characters. Yeah.
oh man, yeah.
So you film the Western part. Welcome to the team. Great.
Not a part, but yeah.
Well, you got a couple clips. You got a little. Was it wind up in 4-1 or something, or winds up on the web? Is that the deal?
Just so yeah, by this time,
Yeah.
like people were starting to do more web stuff, so
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
just a quick introduction. I don't know. I think it was like yeah, a couple of different websites, Transworld, shit like
Sure.
that. Just like yeah,
Nice.
Jabari
Yeah.
Pendleton.
You're where you need to be. It sounds like. Sounds like it's a good fit. Right.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Yeah. When did you got a board, right? Was that like shortly after? Or was that when did that go down?
Hmm. I think I went pro at 30
Yeah.
Sick. Yeah.
or right before. No, like right before 30 or
Yeah.
something like that. So
What year would that been? Wait, I know what year that would have been because I bought your first board off their website.
20,
Um, 2016. Yeah? That sound right?
yeah, no, I didn't go pro that. No, 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 no,
No?
no.
Okay.
Cause I don't know, bro. I don't know. Maybe so, maybe so.
What
I'm
was your
so
first
confused
board?
at the time of
Was it
year.
was it the Pendleton, like as in Pendleton clothing graphic?
No, that wasn't the
Nah.
first one.
Okay, that's the
So I
one I
know.
bought.
So first, this what happened. First, they came out with a three Cardinals on a board, and it was a Brad.
That
It was
one
Brad's
was so
board,
good.
but it was Jabari and Jason. Like we were each the other
No
Cardinals
way.
on there. So it
I
was
haven't
like a
seen that, I don't think. Huh.
That
so
one's
that was the
good,
first
dude.
before they actually really turned me pro. And they were like, well, this is all our pro board. So like, I ain't sharing no board. but
I thought that
uh
one was rad.
Yeah.
no, it's super sick. I got one and I love
No
Cardinals. Like,
way. You had fun
yeah,
stuff?
yeah.
Sick.
Super dope. Yeah, so that and then was it maybe the Kush board was the first one where it just like says Jabari Pendleton and like purple on there, but it's like purple. You can't tell, but it's actually a purple nug,
Oh
but
wow.
it's kind of like distorted or something. I'm thinking that might have been the first boards, but yeah, I can't
You
remember.
didn't get the
The
classic
the
Ian
BBC
John
board though was
graphic.
like close to the first one though. No, that wasn't my first one. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm trying to remember which one it was. It definitely wasn't the Pendleton. That was later on down the
It was.
line.
Okay.
Yeah. All I do remember though, one of the illest thing was that first year, or first time I went to Barcelona. And like I had been pro, but also I'm not like getting paid big money,
Sure, sure.
So I'm just like, I'm just skating. Like, yeah, I'm hype, I'm pro, but I'm like, I'm still skating. It's just the same, like not too
Western's a
much
smaller
change, right?
company, like they're not like shelling out money. They're not, yeah, I get
So,
it.
so nothing really changed. So I didn't really like feel different. But then we go to Barcelona and maybe like our second or third night there, and we're inside the FTC, and I walk in, bro, and like every board on the wall is my board.
No way.
Like they
Oh,
did that.
sick.
Like that's when it hit me. I was like, damn, bro, you're a professional skateboarder.
Yeah.
Like your board is
Right.
being sold over here and you're like in a country. Like it was just a trip. Like just seeing that, like that was a really dope moment. Like just like really, really being able to take it in and notice it. Because like
Yeah.
I said, I'm always in it, so I don't be noticing. And like, how a lot of people be saying it's the journey. I'm like, bro, I gotta like calm down and slow down. Cause like, yo, I be going through some ill journeys, but I don't even be realizing it because I'm so fucking caught up.
Yep.
Like,
We don't get time to smell the
yeah,
roses as much as we should, that's for sure.
definitely, definitely. But that was like one of those moments where I was just like,
Yeah.
damn, it just hit me. I'm like, this is crazy.
That's rad, man.
Yeah.
Um,
It's cool.
you guys were you guys over in Barcelona for the FTC store opening? That's around that time, yeah?
Nah, they had been
No?
open for quite a while.
Okay. So were you guys able
Yeah.
to get around with Western? Did you guys you guys obviously went to Barcelona. Did you guys get around anywhere else?
Nope, because we paid for that shit ourselves. So
Nice.
we were broke. Hey, shout out to Kent. I remember when we left, and like I remember asking Kent, oh, like, yo, because I think I was okay. By this time, I was getting paid. I was getting like I can't remember if I was getting a monthly check or I get like quarterly or
Yep.
something. But whatever it was, before I was gonna leave, I wasn't gonna get paid. And
Just
and I was like, man,
times
whatever.
are
We were growing
tough.
weed yeah, yeah. And we were growing weed at the time, and I didn't get paid out, and that was like my real money.
Yeah.
So I'm like tripping. I'm like, fuck, I'm about to go to fucking Barcelona. Like, literally, I have no money. So
Shit.
I asked Kid, I was like, bro, can I borrow some money? Like, fuck no. He didn't say it like that. But you know what? But my problem was Ando had already been hitting them up for money because Ando was
Oh
going over
shit.
there. We're
Oh
all
God.
going over there broke,
Oh
bro.
no
None
way.
of us have money. We bought our tickets. We got to pay for an apartment while we get there.
Yep.
We're all broke. So that's why I think Kent told me no, because like Ando's already hitting them up, and who knows who else is hitting them up.
Right. Right.
He tells me no, so I was like, fuck, man, I ain't got no fucking money. And I remember when we left, this fool kid looked at us, he's like, I think he said, like, I don't know how y'all gonna make it. Good luck or something.
Lock the door behind you. Right. Just turn
Just
the key.
smile. He said, I don't know how y'all go. Good luck. That was so funny to me. I always got to shout out like everybody. Shout out to my brother Fernando. And
Oh
Mr.
yes,
Fernando.
I
I told
know.
yeah, you do. We can tell that story in
Famous
a second. But
meeting. No, we don't need
yeah,
to.
yeah, it's been over 7 years. I keep doing statute limitation, but yeah, Nando was really out there doing his thing. He wasn't fucking with weed. He was doing some other shit,
In
and he
San
had a lot.
Francisco. Yeah.
Yeah, he was holding it down with his illegal alien ass. And I
Such an
needed
amazing
money.
skater, dude. Fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
skater, but I needed money, and I don't, that's my brother. Dropped 3 grand on me. Wow. You just
Jesus.
and
Oh
it's
yeah.
lovely though because he knew he was like Bari's good, and he knew. I went to Barcelona for 2 months. He wasn't tripping off that 3 grand.
Yeah.
As soon as I landed, I went and got my money from what I do, and then gave it right back to Fernando. But
Yeah.
like shout out to Nando. I would have went to Barcelona with no money.
Dude, the Bank of
Literally.
So cool.
Fernando. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he come visit
Nando.
St. Louis too? Or
He
am I crazy?
did.
Didn't
We
he?
we so that's when I moved back and he's in New York and Adrian Williams was in Texas, I think, at the time. And we were all gonna meet in Chicago. Something happened to Adrian's flight because he was supposed to come in, I think, coming to St. Louis, and then we were all gonna go from there to Chicago, or I don't know, something like that. But Fernando ended up flying in, and we ended
Sick.
up going down and kicked it at the Grove for the night, and he loved it. He was tripping off how
That's
cheap
right.
beer was. He used to the New
Right.
York prices, and
Yeah.
he's very frugal, but he bought everybody in the bar drinks that night. It was that cheap, no, cheaper here in the Midwest. He was like, "What?
Awesome.
I never heard of a PBR." No, no, not PBR. No, what do
The
we have?
Like
He
Stag or
knows
something like that.
stag,
stag, whatever the
Yeah.
fuck.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
He knows PBR. It was the stag. He was like, "What is this?" And he just started buying stags for everybody. Yeah.
Oh man. Um,
Shit. I keep drifting off course. Sorry, guys.
no, all good.
Are you
Um,
thinking about when you were being mean to Fernando? Probably. Hey,
I
when I
was so
visited that,
drunk. Oh my God.
I visited San
Dude.
Francisco. When I visited San Francisco, and he was like, "Were you telling him to speak English because he was in America or some shit?" Or like,
Fuck. No, I said, I don't know. I said like go USA fucking so loud in his face or some dumb shit. Like
and he was
just
butthurt
cause
then.
uh just cause I knew, yeah, I could get under his skin. It was so lame. But I was so wasted. It was
Yeah, we are
really like
young.
fuck yeah. And Benny was such a hardcore motherfucker like that. Like that kind of rubbed off on me. Like,
No, me and Fernando talked about it before. He was like, "Hey, we wasn't tripping off that shit." He was like, "Yeah,
yeah.
that fool
We,
was loud."
yeah, we
He
came
was out there
home
loud.
wasted and piled up a 30 bucks of beer.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
I was at
remember
the top,
Benny tied Wessler's shoes together while he was passed out.
and
And
they
Wessler
tore
woke
apart
up.
that he ran so hard
He flipped out so hard when he woke up.
because that was
Yeah.
like his favorite pair of DCs. They were like some ill Rob Dyrdek chillers or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember no, that's what it was. They ordered food, wasn't it? And then when the
I don't,
doorbell rang,
man, him and Benny used to go so hard. I could tried to keep up.
tied his shoes together because they ordered food and they fell asleep on the couch. Then when the food
Yeah.
got there, he woke up and wants to try to run and the more and just ate shit.
Oh wow.
My pizza.
Fuck. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Love you,
No.
Fernando.
Nothing but love, baby.
Um, so at some point you moved back to St. Louis, yeah?
Yeah. Way. Yeah.
Was that a big gap? Was that
Yeah. I
from
mean,
Yeah, you were in, I mean, how
I
long you
got
were
a
in
very
SF,
exciting
right?
life. I was in
Yeah, you were in
SF
SF a long time,
till
like 10 or more
2017.
years.
2017? Okay, that makes sense.
So from '07 to 2017. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't realize you were there. Actually, yeah, I do, because I was popping in and out of the city, and you had a job at the diamond store at one point. I remember rolling in there, right?
Yeah, that's closer to the end. Like,
Yeah,
so the growing weed, then from that to when I was still growing, when I was working at Diamond, and then oh shit. Yeah, from Diamond, I left Diamond back to St. Louis.
yeah.
Oh, I mean, I had other jobs too, but yeah.
So what
House arrest, man, I forgot. It was a lot of shit.
what is working at Diamond like? I can't I
That
have
was a
no
dope
idea.
job.
I've never really worked retail other than yeah, not similar
Working
jobs. So
Diamond was an honor. First of
yeah,
all,
yeah.
I mean, I think retail would be a hard job if I had to work it at a different type of place, but there,
Hmm. I would
it's pretty
imagine
laid
it's
back.
pretty unique.
Yeah. And people know what they want. So it's not like I gotta really
yeah,
Right,
like try to
right.
upsell anybody. And they
Yeah,
like, bro, I want that leather. I want that crew. I want this. I want that. You
yeah.
know, it was cool like that. There was always cool people coming in, hanging out, chilling. The
I feel like
staff was
it
cool.
was
We always
Supreme before Supreme came Supreme. Like Diamond was this
well,
more
yeah,
sought
there
after
was no
like
Supreme in that stuff
deal.
yet.
Right. So,
yeah. But
And Supreme, yeah, Supreme wasn't didn't have its reemergence yet either. It was
right,
Supreme
before
was
right.
just New York. There was no other locations. They were doing their releases, but
they were in LA.
uh,
Were they? Yeah.
So
no,
they
they
I
were
don't
in
were.
LA
remember
for a
what
while,
time they
but it
moved
still
down there,
wasn't
but
Yeah,
it
yeah,
wasn't a reemergence with like fucking awesome yet and all
yeah.
that stuff. Like
right,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah. I mean
reemergence.
the mega money. Like
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Working for Diamond was dope. I just posted a picture the other day and was saying that like working for Nick was something else because it didn't feel like work. He definitely got me in the doors where I wasn't getting in before that. I remember me and Alan used to joke around about that. Like I remember when we first got hired, we had to go to this one bougie club and they wouldn't let me in because I had on Tim's. I had on Timberlands. And I'm like, what? Like, you gonna let me kind of have Tim's? Like, these are nice. These are Tim's. And they looking at me like, bro, if your big ass starts stomping people in them boots, we ain't gonna never get. I'm like, look at them like, why would I stomp anybody out? Like, and I couldn't get in. And I'm like, I work for Diamond. And I remember me and Alan like, it ain't gonna be like this in a week, bro. You ain't gonna never kick me out the club again. And I remember going back to that mug and like look at the dude like, yeah, nigga, I'm with this. And it
Jesus.
was
Yeah,
good and all that. Yeah, it was chill.
yeah.
Like it was good. Got into everywhere. Had good times. Like party. Always around skaters. I don't know. It was good. That was a
Dude,
dope era.
Nick
I bet.
Nick took me and Joey Pepper to Hooters for lunch once, and like he paid for it, and like that dude's stock just rose immediately. I'm like, this guy is awesome.
Yeah.
Freaking
Yeah.
take us
Next
to the
level,
new
dude.
Hooters, dude. Nice guy. Knows a lot about skateboarding too. That was the rad thing.
Yeah. See, that's the
Yeah.
thing too. Like
Yeah.
it's one thing to work for, yeah. We're skaters, so we love that. And like he's a real skater. Like
Oh yeah.
look at clips of him, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that fool
Yeah.
was kidding it in. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
He
Like
was.
I didn't realize that until I actually worked for him. Because I mean I knew of Nick, but I knew, and the only reason I know this name is because of Turf and because of Kelch, because Kelch was the godfather
Oh, that's
of
right,
Oh, he
Turf.
was on
Kelch.
turf.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. That's what brought Kelch back to SF. He hadn't been
yeah.
back to
That's
SF
right.
until Turf popped up. But Kelch, he's OG, so he's gonna tell me all the silly stuff. And he was like, he used to tell me about Nick, like, oh, we used to call him Reg, like short for reject or so shit. But like, fucking Kelch had a fucking crazy name for
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
dude, it's so hilarious and stuff. But then I seen like footage of him when I started working there. Like it was a mini rim footage was recorded. I'm like, oh shit, like Nick was getting it.
Dude, I remember some sequences in Thrasher specifically. I was like, oh shit, like he was in the mix for a minute there, and it was
Yeah, EMB boy. I mean,
yeah,
like
totally,
Greg
absolutely,
Carroll, all that, like
yep,
OGs doing it.
Yeah.
yeah. So what year did you move back to St. Louis then? 2017? That was the deal?
2017, yep.
Nice. And you came back to basically help out your mom? Was that kind of what was going on?
Yeah,
Yep. Health wise, is that what
yeah.
brought you back
So
ultimately? Yep.
mhm,
What did
just
you move back in with your mom, or what was their plan? Or did you have a plan basically?
yeah, I moved back in with her, which was it wasn't hard like staying with her, but it was hard. Man, I always trip off the outside world. Always got to have shit to say. I'm like, man, you got to not trip off the outside world. You got to do what you got to do. So it was kind of hard being like a 40. Oh, I wasn't 40 at the time, but just moving back in because like people don't know your whole story. So they're like, oh, you're 40 living with your
Oh
mom. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. They don't know the yeah.
but like they don't understand, like, no, like it's not because I fell off and I needed to like, but I don't feel like I have to explain that to
Nah,
people.
dude, you
Like,
don't have to explain. That's a
Right.
choice I'm making. That's all you need to know. Get out of here. Yeah.
yeah, but it's crazy though. But that's also something I was going through a lot. Like
Yep.
Right.
as an adult man, like dealing with adult women, like hearing that, and I just be looking at them like, shut the fuck up. But like, it's just like it was just weird, weird to me. But yeah, I moved back in there. Like my brother also lived with her, and
Yep.
like they needed assistance, so I did that. I did have a lot of money saved up at the time, so for me mentally, I was like, bro, I'm not about to work full time and then be taking care of two people full time.
Yeah.
And then like I was like, I just told myself like there's no way in hell I'm doing it.
Yep.
So I'm like, yeah, I was like, I'll take care of both of them full time and then just figure it out from there. And so I just did that. I didn't even know what I would be doing, and people would be asking me that. They're like, a lot mostly women. They're like, Jabari, what are you doing with your life? Like, what? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I'm taking care of life right. Like, this is what
Handling
life has
business.
brought to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
This is what life has brought to me, and I'm handling it right now. And like, it's hard to also tell someone like, I don't know, shit always works out. Like, I've never like, I'm not a bum. I go hard, so I'm like, shit always
Yeah.
works out.
If you got to explain to someone that life isn't a straight line, then it's probably not even worth explaining, you know? Like it's just the way it is.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
like never wanted to explain that. So like that was probably like one of the harder things was that. And then I mean also seeing my mother sometimes in the conditions, she was in, but like for the most part she was good and she did a lot better once I got back. And yeah, it is what it is. It was just like, yeah, in the house and just holding
Yep.
it down. And I was trying to I knew I had an injury, but I didn't know what it was at the
What,
time.
what was going on?
I just couldn't really skate. I didn't know. Both my meniscus are torn, but I didn't know at the time. And all I knew was every time I bent down to skate, like the ollie, and you
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it just hurt. And I didn't know. I didn't know that was a meniscus. And
Huh.
then like, so I'm back here in St. Louis taking care of them. I can't really skate the way I want to. That's why I started doing slapping nose sides and stuff. Cause I was just like, bro, I can't really ollie. You know what I'm
Got it.
saying? Shit
Yep.
hurts. But I wanted to still skate. So I was just like, all right, I got to figure out some way to still skate. So I started doing that shit. That was fun. And then started Googling and started to try to figure out what the hell's wrong with my knee because I don't have health insurance and I'm not working, and all that. And
Yep.
so I finally figured it out. And I'm like, yeah, I think it's my meniscus. So I just I started studying that. And then I started trying to rehab it myself. Like I don't have insurance. So I think I started off cycling first at the gym. And then once I got to a certain point on the cycle, I saw the ellipticals and I'm like, man, I got to try that out. And I was like, damn, this shit is tiring. Like, I was like, I did not know this shit was that hard.
Yep.
And so I was like, I'm gonna try this again tomorrow. And just kept doing that. And then I was like reading up on that. And they were like, yo, swimming is the first thing. And then the next thing is elliptical. Like
Yep.
for you to work out with no pressure on your joints and all that. So I've been on that, rehab my fucking knee, and it was just taking care of my mom and brother and trying to skate here and there. And
Yep.
mentally it was feeling pretty good. And like I still was like on the side, like, all right, you still got to figure out in the long run what you're gonna do. But like I don't know. I'm just this what seems to make sense right now for me, and
Yep.
that's how I felt when I was skating in SF. Like it just made sense for me to skate. I
Yeah.
wouldn't. A lot of times I wasn't doing shit that I should have been doing. If I had to get a letter to go to court and do jury duty, my attitude at the time was like, if I don't want to do it, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
Skate. And I did that for quite a while. And that's kind of like that attitude was the same as when I came back to St. Louis. Like, this is what I want to do. I want to take care of my mom and my brother. I got mentally stuck into working out to rehab my knee, and now I was able to back skate. And that was it. I was just like, yo, I just gotta take care of myself mentally and physically and hold
Yeah.
them down.
Those are all positive things that have positive outcomes, though. That's what it sounds. Yeah. You just got to do it.
Yeah.
That's all it comes down to. And it benefits everybody in the long run, even though it seems odd to others, but the hell with others, you know?
Yeah.
So eventually your mom passed away. How long ago was that? She passed away
2020.
2020. Okay. So that was 3 years after you moved back. 3 years after you
Yeah.
moved back about. Got it. And then you pretty much just picked up everything that was left over with her life and kind of figured that all out. Yeah.
Yeah, because there was the craziest thing was like, yo, I was doing a really good job when I was taking care of her, and she like her nurse and stuff was like, yo, she's doing great. She's our best client. Like she's going this way.
Yep.
So she didn't have no will or nothing. Like we weren't even thinking about
Oh,
like
wow.
she
Yep.
wasn't like
That type of thought. Yeah.
she had a lot of things going on, but the way it was looking, they're like, yo, you reversing her numbers and all that. Like she still had to deal with like the obesity and like she had a lot of going on.
Yep.
But they're just saying that she was looking good and straight. It was when we got in the hospital.
Ah,
That
hospital. Yeah.
so, and I'm just bringing that to the point on how you said I like picked up on all her stuff is because we were like, yeah, we know she's not invincible, gonna live forever, but we weren't thinking
It was sudden.
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
she wasn't dragging around the house like that, sort of to be like, oh,
Sure.
this
Mm.
soon. Like
Yeah.
we still were good.
Yeah.
It was just that had to go in to get a test, and she went and got a test and couldn't. Yeah,
Yeah. Not good
supposed to release
results.
her and wouldn't release her and all that. Like, there's a lot of fuck shit. I like go in. Like, I fucking hate doctors. I hate
Yeah.
hospitals. I rarely go myself. I know I need to, but it's like really, really, the system is crazy, bro. And it hurt to see
Yeah.
someone that do so much for everybody else, not no one, go for her. And I'm at a different point now. I can say that you see, like, with a straight face, it's cool. It is what it is. But it just really sucks to see that. And I think about how many people go through that, how many parents, how many kids. It's just whack. And like during 2020, they had all those mandates where it's like we're not responsible for shit. And
Ah,
Right.
it's just so much going on. We can't, and that's what it
Yeah.
was. They're like, we can't do anything. It's too much going on. Or we don't have enough staff to help to do. Like it was just like
Oh man.
basic stuff that's supposed to be done wasn't getting
yeah.
done. But neither here nor there nor now.
Yeah.
Yeah. With that being said, I'll just bring that up because like we didn't have a will or anything. So
Yeah. So that leaves a lot of
You're,
things to be
you're,
untangled. Yeah.
and you're
yeah,
also
which
dealing
is
with your
crazy. All
brother.
that just came back up yesterday, but life is what it is. I'm like this is gonna take me somewhere better, I guess. But
Yep.
yeah, I had to go through probate, and that shit's not even right now. I'm finding out and all that,
Yeah.
but yeah, doing that, and then my brother, she was his payee because he's special needs,
Yep.
autistic, and all that stuff, and so he couldn't receive his money no more, or he never receives money. She received it, so
Oh
with her
man.
passing, then it just
Yeah.
puts him at zero because they won't send it to him.
Yeah.
And so yeah, had to get that all straightened out, and my uncle, and shit's getting shit for the most part straightened, but like it's also I'm gonna sound like redundant, but systems are systems, and shit is
Yeah.
systematic. That shit's put up to be bullshit, and like that system's not really even set up to really help people with
No, there's a lot
disabilities.
more obstacles there are benefits, it
Yeah,
seems, you know. It
they
sounds
really.
bad, but
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
So
It's 2024. That money should just switch over just by the fact that your mother's gone, and yeah, So
I'm gonna figure it out. But yeah,
a
but
computer should just do that magically. Easily. I mean,
or
should
some.
be.
It shouldn't take as
Yeah.
long as it should be taken. But
Mhm.
I got a lot straightened out for him and my uncle, and I'm very proud of that. I've actually done stuff that my mom
Right
was
on,
trying
man.
to get accomplished. So I
Right
have to
on.
remind myself, I
Right.
was able to get that shit done and keep it moving, man.
Yeah, dude. Dude,
Proud of you, man. Yeah, I know you've been working on paperwork and all that for years, man. So
Yeah, I hate
yeah,
that shit.
yeah,
But
yeah.
let's we get it done though, baby.
for sure.
Mhm.
Hey, here's something I actually want to ask you, and this is kind of interesting to me. You started working in the cannabis industry when you got back to St. Louis, right?
Yeah.
Formally, informally. What the hell are you doing now? Like, what are you doing now? Because you were working at the dispensary not too far from here, but now you're not anymore.
Now my title is what? Customer satisfaction manager.
Okay.
And customers are two things. Either customers, the people that are buying the weed, also our customers are the stores that buy the weed to sell the weed. So I have to make both customers just happy in all the states of Missouri.
So do you
So
work for a brand or do you work for a
brand.
dispensary? You work for a
Yeah.
brand. Which brand is it?
Okay, so it's Show Me Organics, and under that umbrella, it's Vivid Cannabis.
Okay.
Yeah, Buoyant Bob, and we have Missouri owns edibles, and then we have our Blue Sage dispensaries. So all
Yeah,
that's
yeah, I've seen those.
under our umbrella of Show Me Organics, and I'm pretty much, like I said, the customer satisfaction manager, just making sure anybody that's buying our products stays satisfied with buying it or
Yep.
whatever, or just as long as they're satisfied with anything that has to deal with Show Me Organics. I'm gonna make sure you're satisfied on that end, and as well as the stores that is purchasing our products. So they're also our customers too.
Yeah.
To make sure anybody purchasing on our products on the store side in the state of Missouri is taken care of and they're happy. Maybe a order was shorted. One
Yep.
thing I'm gonna make sure that's taken care of. Maybe something's not selling the way they want to. We're gonna figure out how to make that shit sell faster. It's like we got to cut the price, or if we're gonna do this or whatever. But just like stuff like that. It's
Yep.
pretty
So
simple.
rad.
So you're like a brand
Yeah,
manager that deals with like sales, product, and marketing, and you kind of have to do whatever it takes to make sure things are good, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rad,
so
man.
sick. Yeah,
Dude, it seems like you're in the right
yeah.
place at the right time for something like that. Like, there's only upside to,
What is
yeah,
it?
yeah. Just, I mean, dude, legalization of marijuana, like, it's only going to go up from here. It's not going to go down, you
Yeah,
know? So
yeah.
it's just going to
Well, the
expand
crazy
more.
thing is Missouri is in the top 5 states. We're like one of the best states for the marijuana. And when I say that, we're the most on point. We're like really on point on the we're top 5 because of sales, first of
Yep.
all. Like how much money we're bringing in, but also we're in the top 5 for like being compliant.
Oh,
Like
Well, okay.
being on point with the state and like doing what is right and what they consider ethical. Like
yeah.
we're really on
Mhm.
point. So we should only keep growing here. As other states, they might be going
Yeah,
through
yeah,
polls or trying to do faulty stuff like that. They feel like our setup here is really, they have a really good setup. Now, don't get me wrong, it can be a headache sometimes trying to stay compliant and all that stuff, but I think it shows a lot from Missouri that we have a lot. We have a lot of growth left, and
Yeah.
as long as we stay on point, then why wouldn't we keep on growing? If we're playing by the rules, and we're able to stay within the parameters and still bring in all this money,
Yeah.
then the industry's just
yeah,
going to
yeah.
keep growing.
Everybody's
Hey,
happy.
we
Yeah.
just had a huge thing called MJ Unpacked. It was at Union Station last month, and it was a national cannabis convention, and they chose to come to St. Louis, and we
Wow.
Oh
do one.
yeah.
Yeah, because
Wh-
that's how popping it is here.
When when you're trying to be compliant in the state of Missouri, who is overseeing that? Does that fall under the health department? Is it like that?
Yeah, dog. So the same people I'm battling with for my brother and uncle are the same people
No
that
way.
look over this. So like this all looked over by not Department of Mental Health. Man, my brain, yeah, I spoke too much weed. Uh, there's so many different agencies, but like, yeah, I
Sure.
forgot who the fuck is the state under for that? It's like one of those agencies.
I
They're all
just
in.
remember my days at like a fast food restaurant. You would see the health department person coming and you get all ready, like I didn't know if it's like that or if it's like a totally different agency that kind of
So
falls
health
underneath.
department is more so like when we do events and stuff like
Sure.
that. Compliant, what I was saying,
Agriculture, right?
office.
Or no?
Or like it's like the same office they do
Agriculture or
like the
no?
elderly and family service and shit.
Oh, oh,
That's also like the same state compliancy, like when they come into I mean, they're a part of that, like a department
Yeah.
of,
Huh.
but they come out to like to dispensaries and make sure everything is
these
written up right,
terpenes
everything
say
is
this is
stored.
5%. We're measuring 4%.
Yeah, or they might go through all your stuff and be like, you have stuff here that's not in the system. Like,
Okay.
like why that?
Yeah,
Like, how do you have something in your store that's not recorded in the system? Like, that's a really big deal.
Yeah.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
why do you have stuff in your system that you don't have in a store? Does that mean
Where's
someone's
that at?
stealing, or are you selling it on the
Right,
side, or
right.
stuff like that? It's a lot of different things, and those are like the small ones. Those are like really intricate stuff and all that. But yeah, we go on
Hmm.
to that. It's a cool job, man. I
Yeah.
wanted to bring skateboarding into it more. Like I was speaking about like we gave them. I'm like, bro, I just need a company. Go ahead, give me that money, sponsor my little team. Let us go on these trips on the weekend, and we just film and we just get content for them. Like we all smoke. It ain't shit. We'll send that to them, that use that content, and then we can go on trips on the weekend and get this footage at
Yeah.
in all small little towns in Missouri and stuff,
Well,
and bring
Sick.
fire to
dude,
you.
thinking bigger than that, like if I turn on the hockey game that's on right now and I see all these advertisements on the edge, booze, health insurance, like, dude, there's gonna be a marijuana
It's
advertisement on there.
coming.
It's coming. It's
It's
absolutely
coming.
Oh
coming.
yeah, that's just because it's not federal yet. But like all
Right.
those people are already hollering, and some of those places they actually do advertise like on some. They go through loopholes
Yeah.
and faulty stuff. But yeah, once it gets federal, it's a wrap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make flying a lot easier too. That'll be great.
I don't think it's an issue. I mean, I haven't flown in a long time, but from everybody else, I don't. Especially if you're going from a state to state that's already
Yeah.
uh, above for rec, is like really.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't even think it is illegal.
Huh.
It should because but it's just like you're going from wreck to wreck. It's like what the fuck? What
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
gonna do?
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
We'll wait till you're in the actual air and then arrest
And
you.
they, dude, I've thought about it this way. They'd be stopping, they'd be stopping so many people and like throwing out shit. It would stall the line so much, like trying to get all the
But the
weed out
airport
of
would
the
just smell like
bags.
weed. Just from
Yeah,
TSA
yeah,
would be
right?
jammed up for days. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Well, dude, thanks for rapping with us. This has
yeah, man.
been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. It's always awesome to talk
Epic
to
one.
people that you know, but then you hear neat little tidbits that you don't know. That's it's fun to learn stuff.
No,
Yeah,
thank you, man. I appreciate you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
yeah.
Uh, always got more stories. So whenever you're ready,
Oh
we ain't
yeah.
even get to the like when I first started back skating. You were with us, Mitch. We skated the fountain. You remember that shit? We were skating and that fool threw the beer on me.
What?
Dude, oh man. I don't know if I was there for that, but yeah,
Wait a second.
yeah.
Was
And
I
you
there for
chased the
that?
car
You might have
down,
been. It was
chased
right
the
when I
car
started
down.
back skating, and we were all. It was a shitload of us skating the fountain in the Central West
Yeah,
End,
yeah.
Huh.
and we went to go skate the subway or something. And someone skated across the street, and this dude was trying to make a right and almost hit. I forgot who was skating across the street. They almost hit one of the homies, and then we're looking at them like, "What the fuck? We got the right of way," and they're all tripping and shit. And then they just look at me, and I'm like, I think I'm like the only black skater there. It's like an old school, and it's like five fools in the old school. And they already just look at me like this bitch ass nigga, and I'm
Oh
not
no.
thinking nothing of it. And dude had a bottle of Budweiser in his hand, and then, like he didn't throw it at me. He went like this, just did it
Yeah.
perfectly like
Yeah.
that, and the beer just like every drop of beer, it was a full beer, just
Oh, oh no.
all over my face while this broad daylight, Central West End, like right there at the Bolivar and
Yeah.
or we all know.
What is that? Yeah,
Yeah.
Claire or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. Bro, and this is literally I think might only be the second or third time I went skating in public, like since I started back. And this is like also
That's
like
a
I
rough
do
one,
all
man.
this type of stuff
Yeah.
when I
Yeah.
like slowly got out of skating.
Welcome
Shit.
back.
This the inner fire inside me brewed up so quick. I grabbed my board and these fools like skirted off. Like, and I'm like, these what the fuck y'all skirting off for? And then I think it hit them like, why are we running from this dude? And then they stopped their car. And I keep running, and I'm like just gonna hit the trunk of their car with my truck. I'm just mad, like not even thinking nothing of it. But they stopped, and I think maybe I was still, I don't know. I end up hitting the back windshield, and my kingpin hits it perfectly. It shatters out their whole fucking
Woo.
back. It goes old school,
Yeah, I wasn't
but it
there for
sounds
that.
like a
I heard
gunshot.
about
Yeah.
So everyone like people are dropped to the ground and they're like thinking it's a gunshot, and those fools just skirt out, and they drove all the way they drove all the way to Delmar and made a light, made that
Yeah.
left.
Yep.
And I just remember looking at everybody, and they're all looking at me, and we're like,
it.
we just all just hopped on our boards and skated back to the
Yeah.
car so quick. We're like, yo, those fools are coming back.
Yeah.
We all
Yeah.
skated back like 2 blocks. Everyone got in their car, and we got the fuck up out of there. But I was so heated. And what is it? Oh, yeah, thank you.
No, that
Yeah.
was a good one. That was a good one. Dude, I
Yeah.
remember hearing about that. You know, we were skating the fountain a lot at that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, I think they didn't. No one skated the fountain for a little bit after that, and I felt bad on
Yeah.
that too because I wasn't trying to blow up no spot. Like that's not
Oh
what
yeah.
I be on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that's harsh, dude.
yeah, yeah.
Man, they just repaved that street again. I was over there the other day.
I was
Remember
just
how we
gonna.
would skate flat all the time? We would
Yeah.
just skate flat there all the
Whoa.
Yeah.
time.
I was just gonna ask: Are
But that
people
just got
actually
repaved.
are people
Yeah.
skating that spot? Is that still getting
I
hit
Gabe,
up?
mean, you
Gabe,
can, but
and
it's
anybody
harder.
know, but
It's
yeah,
harder.
Yeah.
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 hard,
Yeah.
You can skate
hard.
those inside ones. Yeah.
Ah.
Sometimes I remember liking more the outside round one. You can't really skate that anymore.
Got it.
At all. No, it's cut out.
Yeah. Because it was
Oh.
kind of
Oh, that's
banky.
right. It was cut
So
out.
you didn't have to kind of
Yeah.
helped, I guess.
No, it was super tight. But yeah, I mean, when people come in town, a lot of people skate that. A lot of the theories of Atlanta's guys and stuff like that. Like,
Mhm.
still a good spot. It's
Oh,
just
that pill too, they call
Yeah.
it the pill. That's
Mhm.
still skatable.
You guys know what that is from the top view, right?
No, what is it?
Like it's there. That pill isn't a pill. It's a screw head. Like if you look at it from the top, there's like a. I think
Okay.
it's a. Is it a key lock? A key?
A straight screwdriver? I don't
No,
know.
like the whole fountain is like
Flathead.
a
Oh, it
thing.
is? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. If you look at it from like a top view, you'll see. If I want to say it's a. Is it a keyhole? Something like that. Um, Look at it on Google
I'm
Maps or
about to look it up when we get off.
think about it in your head. It's something. It's like
Yeah.
it's a shape
Yeah.
of some sort.
I'll know in about 10 minutes after we get off.
Well, man, you brought up like PTSD pretty much and just like the cops and shit.
Oh
And
fuck.
I have this memory of it was so just typical. I'll get to it. Just racist shit, right? We were skating Keener. This is right when you're getting back into skating. You even know what this story is.
Yeah.
And it's me, you, and Herbie, maybe one other person, right? And we're just skating, and we kind of heard that the cops would bust at the time, maybe, so we knew maybe to look out. But all of a sudden, a dude on a bike, or maybe a couple of dudes on bikes, come up rolling over the hill, and we're like, "Fuck, all right, like it's time." But they just swoop straight towards you, like don't talk to Joe or me, just straight towards you, and immediately you're in cuffs, and we're like, "What the fuck is happening?" Like, yeah, that was gnarly, and just
You remember
added
you remember
to
what he
the.
was talking about?
I don't, man. I just remember being scared that they were gonna fuck. It was gonna get worse. I was like,
No,
"What is happening? Like, what the
I
fuck?
thought it
Like,
was
we're
too.
skateboarding." Like,
If I don't know if I'm mixing this up with another time, but I'm pretty sure even after he took the handcuffs off, he was talking about like, you guys got to go to the alderman and all this stuff and get you guys a skate park and all this
oh
stuff. And then
shit.
he was talking about how, yeah, they were gonna build a basketball court in the neighborhood, and like we
Oh
didn't want that
fuck.
because that brings the wrong people in the neighborhood.
Oh no
It's
way!
our
Like double
alderman.
down.
Yeah, and I'm like, look at him, like, what
What
the
the
fuck are you talking about to me, bro? Yeah,
Damn, that's
you don't remember?
gnarly. I
We didn't
don't
want the
remember that
brothers
part.
coming in our neighborhood, so we talked to the alderman.
Wow.
I think
So
that's what he
not
did. But he's like,
flat
so we
out.
talked to the alderman so they wouldn't build
I mean, his behavior was showed enough of that, but damn, I don't. Jesus, that's so gnarly. Fuck.
And the craziest thing is, I wonder if he's talking about this spot that we all skate now, because a couple of years ago we were skating this spot and we were getting kicked out, and they had just put basketball courts in there. And I thought I remember someone in the neighborhood saying, like, we told them not to put the fucking basketball
Oh
courts,
God.
the basketball hoops over here. Herbert and
Oh
them were
fuck.
skating it last Sunday. Um,
Yeah.
it's a little double side lit, a two, I don't know, some shit in the city, but
Yeah.
yeah, it is what it is. Right?